Okay, here we are. We are live. Here we are live. The Late Late Horror Show Lego Build live stream number one. I'm not sure how many streams this is going to take me. Let me make sure everything's good to go. Let me get the tablet so I can see your guys' chat real quick. Let me get that up there. I guess I gotta wait a second. But yeah, we are going to be doing the Orient Express Lego Ideas set 21344. Lego Ideas set. I love the Ideas set. They are really, really cool. And I did something a little bit different. I got everything. And I'm going to play some Mysterious Traveler old time radio shows while I'm building. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And in between, I'll do my own rambling like usual. But let me make sure I am live. Here we go. I can see the chat. Hello, Harry, Scott, Connie, William. Good to see you guys in the chat. Be sure to give that thumbs up. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. You enjoy a little bit of me building, watching the process of building this train. I've loved trains my whole life. My stepdad, when I was younger, had a full, like a Lego city, but a full train layout with the fake trees, the buildings, the dioramas, and the Lionel trains that were expensive. And, with the smoke coming out and everything. And that's kind of why I love trains, probably, growing up and all that. Pugwill316, hello. Love to hear it. Old time radio. Yes, as I'm building, once I get going here, definitely we'll be playing some Mysterious Traveler, which starts out with the train. So, Mysterious Traveler. I think that'll... I haven't heard Mysterious Traveler in a little while, so it'll be kind of cool. But yes, I've got everything laid out. I separated all the pieces, at least up until bag 5. This should get me through till right before the overnight stream tonight. I got stickers here. Yeah, there's some stickers on this set, which is fine. As long as I put them on perfectly. But yes, everything is all laid out for me. So we are going to get started here. Thank you all for being here and just relaxing, chilling, and watching me build this Orient Express, the Orient Express, one of the greatest trains in history, right? One of them. And tonight, overnight, a detective stream. Going to be a lot of Richard Diamond in there. I just feel like Richard Diamond tonight. As I fall asleep later tonight, I want to listen to some Richard Diamond. He's fast become one of my favorites to listen to. Just really, really fun. But yeah, let me get going here. Again, just relax and watch me through the process. So here we go. I don't know whether to start right off with an episode or not. I've got the instructions in front of me, and yes, I'm going to get started. Give me a second. And you know what? I may be fixing the camera. I don't know. I mean, so far everything is in frame, so far everything is in frame okay, but see, well, you can't see me going off, but I can only get so wide of a view. I need the pieces that I go off and get that are kind of surrounded back here. You can see on the top screen, but on the bottom screen you kind of can't. Again, the Lego City update. I'm almost done with the park. As soon as I'm done with that, within the week, you're going to get an update on all of that. A lot more people in the city streets. Switched some things up on the one side. The Lego park is just about done so that I could push it up against the street and the sidewalk where the cobblestone pathway is going to come out and attach itself to the sidewalk. So I will be showing that really, really soon. Let me see. Mom and I want to do a train set going through all the house. You're like, oh, that would be really, really cool. See, that's the other thing. I laid all this stuff out, and my tablet's just a little too far away. But I can see what you guys are saying. Looks good so far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep an eye on all the little Lego people. Make sure nobody gets murdered. Yeah, listen. Somebody just left a remark on the last Lego video. Something about being a kid. What or a day? I don't know. It was something I think negative, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being a child, no matter how old you are. Well, I mean, being young at heart, embracing toys and stuff. I mean, you can be you can be as old as whatever and still enjoy this. One of the things I love doing this, but it's therapeutic as well. So there is that. But anyways, let me get started. You guys can start watching as I play an episode of Mysterious Traveler. It is going to be No Grave Can Hold Me from 1947, Mysterious Traveler. Here we go. Yes. Love the train start. Perfect for this, right? Am I wrong?
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler. Written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Cogan. And featuring tonight two of radio's most distinguished personalities, Santos Ortega and Richard Coogan, in No Grave Can Hold Me.
This is The Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, and it will thrill you a little and chill you a little as we travel tonight into the world of shadows, from which no man may return, and we learn the story of one who does return. It's a story I call No Grave Can Hold Me. My story starts in a
Gotta
court
get the right
of law,
pieces.
where a man is on trial for his life. The courtroom is tense, for the jury is out deciding the prisoner's fate. But the prisoner himself, a tall man with glossy black hair and piercing eyes, sits calmly with his lawyer, his daughter Nora, and his son-in-law Harry Wilson, waiting for the fateful verdict.
Oh, dear, I wish I knew. Father, I think the jury is coming in now. They say it's a bad sign when the jury is out for such a short while.
You need not worry, either of you. I shall be free.
I certainly hope so, Randolph, but... Well, you did admit you killed Clemens.
Because he insulted me. He called me a mountebank, a charlatan, a trickster. He called the great Randolph a faker. So he died.
There they come. Oh, Father, I'm frightened.
They're taking your places in the jury box now. They look awfully grim.
I repeat, have no fear for me.
Foreman of the jury, has the jury reached a verdict? It has, Your Honor. What is the verdict? We find the defendant guilty as charged of murder in the first degree.
Oh, no.
What finds you guilty?
The fools. They, too, think that I'm an impostor, a trickster. They shall learn different. If I die, so shall they.
The prisoner will rise.
Father, you stand up.
The prisoner will rise.
Very well.
I think starting off here, I'm building the tracks first. Not I think. I am building a kind of a long track that the train will actually go on. So that's what I'm doing to start with. And yes, William, Richard Diamond, definitely one of my faves as of now. Nothing will take the place of Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Sherlock Holmes, but Richard Diamond is my second. So Night Freight Talk Show, good to see you. Here we go.
Stand up, so that they will recognize my face again when they see it suddenly in the night, and to know that death has come to claim them.
Maximilian Randolph, you have been found guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree. It is the sentence of this court that you shall suffer the punishment of death on the night of June 6th at midnight. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Hey, Jocko.
Visitor for you, Mr. Randolph.
Thank you, Guard Miller.
You can see him for only 5 minutes, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, all right, Guard. Hello, Randolph.
Good evening, Harry. I see that my guard Miller managed to get you in to see me.
Yes, he did. Time is so short that... Well,
I know. It is almost midnight. And at midnight, I die. But Guard Miller has become a good friend. I knew he'd arrange it.
Nora and I saw the governor this afternoon. He refused to do a thing.
It does not matter. What is death but a new garment for the soul to wear?
Nora's waiting outside. You said you didn't want to see her tonight.
That is as I wished. You were my assistant. We were very close, you and I. And now there is a last promise you must make to me.
Anything, Randolph.
When you receive my body, the empty husk of the great Randolph, bury it in a vault with a bronze door. Which
Hey,
faces
Jay.
east.
Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit
Okay.
that thumbs up button.
Facing east.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, of course.
The door must be locked with a padlock of bronze, but it must be possible to open it from the inside
But
without using a key.
Randolph, you...
The coffin must be locked shut as well. But I must be able to open it from the inside.
Randolph, surely you're not serious.
I never joke. All this and one thing more. Promise.
All right, I promise.
When I am buried, beneath my head must rest a notebook bearing the names and addresses of the 12 jurymen who found me guilty, of the prosecuting attorney, and of the judge.
But why, Randolph?
So that
Thanks,
I may
Sherry.
know where to seek my vengeance upon them. The vengeance I have sworn, which must be executed before my soul can sleep.
Oh, Randolph, that's madness.
You disbelieve. So do they. But in my studies, I have learned many things. And one of them is how to reach back from behind the dark curtain of death.
All right, time is up, sir.
Thank you, Miller. Goodbye, Harry. Just tell me one more thing. Is the full moon shining tonight?
Yes. It's a full moon tonight.
Hey, Sherry and everybody else popping in. It is a cool set. I love trains. The Orient Express is really, really cool. And Harry, you play a big role in this episode here of Mysterious Traveler. No grave can hold me. Wow. So there you go. I keep leaving the microphone on. Hopefully that's not echoing. I'm going to turn that off real quick. Good to see you, though, Sherry the Bookworm. Playing some old-time radio shows as I build this. If you haven't seen any of the past Legos, I did a couple. Finished Barad-dûr, the Lord of the Rings Dark Tower. But this one I've been really excited to do, the Orient Express, because I love trains. Here we go.
Good. And each time hereafter that it shines, one of my enemies will join me in death.
And so the great Randolph went to his execution and was buried according to his instructions. After a few days, his case was forgotten. Forgotten by all but Harry Wilson, his son-in-law. Well, as the first month passed and the full moon again shone in the windows of his apartment, a strange restlessness possessed Harry.
Harry, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Nora, but tonight, the night of the full moon, I'm nervous. I can't help it.
Oh, darling, you're not worrying about Father, are you? About his threat?
Yes, I am.
Oh, but that's absurd. Poor Father. Toward the end, I'm afraid he was suffering from delusions, and he was more than just an ordinary man. He wasn't entirely sane, Harry.
No, maybe not, but he was so sure of himself, so certain. And those instructions for the way he was to be buried. Oh, of course, I'm just being foolish.
Why don't you go out and walk for a while, Harry? It'll help calm you.
All right, I will. You want to come along? It's a nice night.
No, I think I'll stay here and read.
All right, I'll be back in an hour or so, dear. And if nothing happens tonight, I'll know that Randolph was just putting on an act.
A little later, another man was also walking in the moonlight of a beautiful July evening. This one was short and stout. He was strolling homeward from a small poker party with his friends when, in the dark shadows cast by the trees along the edge of the park, a tall figure stepped directly into his path.
Just a moment, Adam.
Who are you? What do you want?
Just to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you. Get out of my
Not
way.
so fast, my friend. Look.
A gun. Say, what is this, a hold-up?
No, Adams. It is not to hold her.
And why are you threatening me with that gun? Why have you got that scarf covering your face?
Because my face has changed in the months since I was executed and buried. It's rather frightening now.
What are you saying? Who are you, anyway?
You're beginning to recognize my voice, aren't you? You know who I am. You just don't want to admit it to yourself.
It's the shadow.
Great Randolph.
Whom you, as foreman of the jury, caused to be executed.
Oh, no, it's not possible. No one could come back from the dead.
No ordinary man. But the great Randolph has come back.
No,
Yeah,
I
that would
don't
be
believe
kind of
it.
tough, William.
There's a trick of some kind.
And is this a trick, Adam? Is it? Is it?
But Toby, is it?
Hello?
Hello, Nora. Is Harry there?
No, he's out for a walk. Who is this?
Don't you recognize my voice, Nora? Surely you heard it often enough.
Father. Oh, no, it can't be.
Strange how skeptical everyone is of me. Even my own daughter.
Father, it is you. What do you want?
I just want to tell Harry that I've claimed the first victim of my vengeance. Exactly on the stroke of midnight. The same minute when I died.
Oh, no.
And I wanted to warn him that he must do nothing to interfere with my plans. Or if he does, I shall have to add him to my list of victims.
Hey, Ed. Very
No,
cool,
no,
Harry.
He's telephoned here. You want to speak to me?
Yes, Harry, just a little after 12. He said that he...
Yes, I know. I heard the news. I was in a restaurant having coffee, and it came over the radio. Adams, the foreman of the jury, was found strangled in front of his home.
Oh, but it's impossible. And yet it was his voice, Harry. Father's voice.
Oh, we've got to do something. Nora, I've got to warn the others on that list. The other jurors, Baldwin, the district attorney, and Judge Dexter.
Yes, but he said if you tried to
I
interfere...
know, but that doesn't matter. In the morning, I'm going to District Attorney Baldwin. He'll believe me. He'll have to. Oh, but Mr. Baldwin, you've got to listen to me. You've got to warn the others. You've got to give them protection. Or they'll die, just as Adams did.
Winston, I'm a busy man. I've enough on my mind without having to listen to wild-eyed stories like the one you just told
Oh,
me.
but it's true. Randolph's instructions about the way he wanted to be buried, the notebook that I put in the coffin with him.
Mere theatrical mummery. Adams was the victim of an ordinary street mugging. That's all there is to it. I have to ask you to leave. I have more important things to tend to.
Mr. Lloyd, you're a sensible man. You edit the biggest newspaper in this city. If you'll only print what I've told you, the authorities will have to take some action.
Wilson, my job is to print news for our readers, not ghost stories. If I ran your story, I'd be fired tomorrow.
Then you don't believe me.
Tell you what I will do. I'll make a story for the Sunday supplement out of it.
Oh, that won't do any good. If it's in a Sunday supplement, people will just smile at it. When they see it there, they'll know it's just a story.
And I'm afraid there's no use in talking any further, Wilson.
All right, I'll go to other papers. One of them will have to believe me.
I don't advise it. You run a shop, don't you, selling tricks and magic apparatus?
Yes, that's right. Why?
Just this. Newspapers don't believe
Thanks,
in giving
Ed.
free publicity, and that's
Good to see you
obviously what
guys.
you're after. Goodbye, Mr. Wilson.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Wilson, but Judge Dexter is unable to see you.
Oh, but, miss, did you explain to him what it's about? How important it is?
The judge said if you cared to write him a letter, he'd give the matter his consideration.
Oh, that's no good. I got to talk to him.
I'm sorry. He's leaving today for his vacation, and he won't be back for a month. Perhaps he'll be able to see you then, but he simply can't see you now.
She can't see you now.
None of them would listen to me, Nora. They either thought I was crazy or that I wanted publicity. They all told me to forget it.
They're right, Harry. That's the only thing to do to forget it.
But, Nora...
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Adam's death last night was just a coincidence. I'm sure Father had nothing to do with it.
Oh, no. He telephoned you. You heard his voice?
Well, I'm not sure now that I did. Maybe it was a dream, Harry. Maybe I just imagined it. So forget the whole thing. Please, Harry, for my sake, forget it. Oh, Harry, darling, it's no good just pacing up and down. Please sit down and try to relax.
I can't, Nora. I can't. Tonight's the second full moon since Randolph was executed. He'll be leaving his grave tonight, and someone else will die.
But, Harry,
There ought to be a guard over the vault he's buried in. Oh, no, that wouldn't do any good if he came back to him dead. He wouldn't be bothered by a guard.
please, Harry, you've done the best you can. And if it is true and you go on like this, well, you'll be in danger, too.
I don't care. That list, Nora, the names on it were alphabetical. And Adams, the foreman, was the first to die.
What are you driving at?
The second name on the list is Baldwin, the district attorney. Baldwin. Wouldn't listen to me last time, but tonight he's got to. I'm going to his home now while there's still time.
My son just put on a fake
Baldwin,
tattoo.
you are in danger tonight,
Looks
I'm
kind of
sure.
real.
Deadly danger.
No, you mean it, I'm sure, Wilson.
Yes.
I thought it was some kind of a gag before. Now I can see you fully believe everything you've said.
Oh, then you will take precautions. At least for tonight.
I've been an officer of the law for 30 years. I've been threatened by a lot
Hey,
of
Stephen.
convicted murderers, but not one of them has come back to get me yet.
But you don't understand. The great Randolph is different. He had powers that we know nothing about.
Perhaps, but I doubt it. Now, Wilson, I appreciate your warning, but I can't take it seriously,
Oh,
really.
then you won't guard yourself?
No more than usual. I'll lock the door presently. I'm sure that'll keep out any ghosts who may come this way.
Mr. Baldwin, please, it's almost midnight. At least let me stay with you for another hour.
I'm sorry, but I'm about ready to turn in. I expect to sleep well, too. Now, you go on home, do the same. Because nobody's going to be harmed tonight by the great Randolph spook. I guarantee it.
Oh, no, please, I wish you'd let me
I couldn't
stay.
think of it. Now, you can find your way out yourself, can't you? I'm sure.
Yes, of course. All right, Mr. Baldwin, I won't bother you any longer. Good night.
Good night, Wilson. Well, he's gone. Afraid the poor fellow needs to see a psychiatrist. Randolph's ghost. I only hope I never have anything worse to be afraid of than Who's there? Who came in just now? Wilson, is that you again?
No, my friend. It is not Wilson.
Who are you? What the devil's the meaning of this?
You don't recognize me, then?
How can I? That cloak with the collar pulled up over your face.
That is to spare the world a sight that should remain forever hidden within the darkness of a coffin. But my voice... Surely you recognize that.
What are you talking about? Now, get out at once, or I'll call for the police.
It would tax their powers to arrest me. They have no authority in the world to which I belong. Randolph.
No. No, it can't be.
I see you have recognized me. You should have taken Wilson's warning, Baldwin, because I'm here.
No
The
worries,
great
Stephen.
Randolph, at your service.
Oh, it's impossible.
That's been said of so many things, hasn't it? But I think I can convince you.
No. Now, stay away. Help! Help!
That won't do you any good. By the time anyone comes who will have joined me in the world of death.
Oh! Nora! Where are you? Nora!
Harry, I could hear you calling all the way down the hall.
Nora, where have you been?
I just went out to get the morning papers. Why?
Why? It's happened again. District Attorney Baldwin has been killed.
But how?
Exactly the same way Mr. Adams was killed, strangled, just at midnight.
Oh, no.
And Nora, I think I know the truth now.
What do you mean?
I don't believe it was your father at all. I think it was I that killed them. I killed them both. No, you've got to do it. There's a full moon tonight. You've got to lock me in this apartment.
Oh, but Harry, you couldn't possibly have killed those two men.
I could. I was near the scene at both times, and my mind, it wasn't clear. I don't remember doing it, but don't you see, if I'd been hypnotized, I wouldn't remember.
But, darling, Father couldn't have hypnotized you into committing murder. It's a law of hypnosis. The subject won't do anything he knows is wrong.
I know that, but I can't be sure. I believe that in those few minutes I was with him, somehow Randolph impressed on my mind orders to carry out his vengeance for him.
Oh, darling, I'm sure he didn't. But if you insist, I'll lock you in.
All right. Well, I want you to go now. It might not be safe for you to stay with me.
All right, Harry, I'll go to a movie.
Got to stay locked in until after midnight. Then even if I am hypnotized, I won't be able to do any harm.
See the Wolfman?
Nora, don't you?
Oh, of course, darling. I'm sure you're wrong, but I'll do anything you say.
All right, now. Lock me in. And don't you come back until after midnight. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another hour and then I'll know. Or will I? Maybe I'll try to get out and I won't remember it. Or... Telephone. Yes. Hello.
Hello, Harry.
Randolph.
Yes, my boy. I'm glad at least you don't say, no, it's impossible.
No. Where are you, Randolph?
That doesn't matter. I just wanted to warn you. And don't try to interfere with my plans.
But, Randolph, I thought... Hello. Hello. He hung up. That proves that I'm not the one. Then in that case... Yes. That's the only possible answer. I know now what the truth is. Oh, I've got to get out of here. Door. Oh, it's so solid. I couldn't break it down with an axe. There's no fire escape, and it's 8 floors down to the street. I have it, the superintendent. I can telephone the superintendent, tell him I locked in, and then he'll come and let me out. Judge Dexter, first Adams died, then Baldwin. Their names were the first two on the great Randolph's list. Your name is third.
And so you think that tonight I'm scheduled to die, huh?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
And you say you warned Baldwin last month just before he was murdered?
I did. And he laughed at me. But he died just the same.
And you're seriously asking me to believe that a dead man legally executed by the state is walking the streets tonight seeking my life?
I tell you, he telephoned me only half an hour ago. I recognized his voice.
You know, of course, that your story sounds like the ravings of an insane mind.
I know it. That's why I've kept quiet this last month. I did try to convince the police, the district attorney,
And all I got was laughed at. And then...
Yes, and yet, obviously, you're in earnest. I don't think you're crazy.
I'm not. For a little while, I thought that I was the killer.
You? How?
I thought I was under post-hypnotic control, that Randolph had planted in my mind the impulse to kill his enemies. But that phone call proved that I was wrong.
And what do you propose that we do?
If we went to his tomb, perhaps then we'd learn the truth.
Why, Wilson, what do you want to open Randolph's tomb for?
Don't you see? If we go there and we find Randolph is still in his coffin, then I'll know that the real murderer is my wife, Nora. I have the key right here. I'll have the padlock off in a minute.
Well, then hurry. The moon is bright. I'd hate to have anyone see us.
Yes, sir.
A very strange story, a man in my position prowling around a cemetery at midnight.
Oh, but we had to come, Judge. We had to make sure.
Well,
There. Unlocked it. We can open the vault door now.
I'm rather sorry I paid any attention to you, Wilson. But we're here now, so
not a
let's
bad
get
show,
this thing
Mysterious
over.
Traveler.
Now, I'm going in first. But don't forget, I'm armed.
Oh, don't worry about me. There, I've shut the door. Be safe to turn on the flashlight now. There. See? There's the coffin.
That's odd.
Huh? What is it, Judge?
The air in here is fresh. This vault has been opened, and very recently.
Then it must have been opened by Randolph.
Oh, nonsense. Open this coffin and I'll prove it. Here. How does it work?
This catch on the side can be operated either from the inside or out. There we are. It's unlocked.
Well, then lift the lid, man. Lift it. What? All right, I'll do it. There. There you are. Now, see? There's your precious Randolph, safe and sound, just as I expected. Quite dead. As he's supposed to be.
He's still in his coffin.
Yes, and that proves that he... Wilson, shine your flashlight down on the floor. I just touched a body lying here near the wall.
Body? Oh, it's Nora. She's dead.
I don't think so. Here, give me that light.
Judge,
What happened? Why did you turn out the flashlight?
something knocked it out of my hands. I can't find it.
Because I have it, Harry. That's why you can't find it.
Randolph.
Wilson, what are you saying?
It's Randolph. He's not dead.
Oh, but I am, Harry. But don't let that disturb you. I want to thank you for bringing the judge here to me.
Wilson, where are you? You're trying to play a trick on me?
No, I swear.
He's quite innocent, Judge Dexter. As for Nora, she merely came to make sure I was where I'm supposed to be. Just as you did. When I spoke to her, she fainted.
Wilson, get the door open. We've got to have some light in here.
It's no use, Dexter. I can see in the dark like a cat, and you can't.
No.
I have you now.
No, Judge. Let me go.
You're going to die, Dexter. Executed as you ordered me. Executed.
Randolph, let me go. I warn you, Randolph. I've got a gun. I'm going to shoot.
You're too late. You're...
Are you all right?
Yes. Yes, I am. Now, see if you can find the flashlight. I think I've taken care of Mr. Randolph. If it was Randolph.
I think I have it. Yes, here it is. Judge, Randolph's body, it's still in the coffin.
I rather thought it would be.
Harry? Harry, is that you?
Oh, Nora. You're not hurt?
No, just my head. I came here to see if Father...
We understand, Mrs. Wilson. And then someone hit you.
Yes, from behind. There was someone here in the vault. I just got a glimpse of him, and then he hit me. But who was it?
That's what we're just about to find out. Now, let me have the flashlight, Wilson.
Yes, of course.
I think he fell over here. Now, yes, here he is.
But who is he? He was impersonating Father, but who is he?
Oh, here he's lying on his face. We better turn him over.
Carefully now. He's still breathing. That's it.
Oh, hey, it's Miller, the guard from the penitentiary, the one Randolph said he made a friend of.
Yes, the one who was guarding him just before he was executed.
Oh, that's it. It was Miller. Miller, can you hear me?
What happened?
I'm afraid he's dying.
Before Father was executed, he must have hypnotized this man and ordered him to carry out his fantastic scheme of vengeance.
Oh, it was a trick.
Hypnotism.
A very cunning trick. By means of hypnosis, Randolph used this man as a tool, even though Randolph himself was dead.
He must have recognized that Miller was unusually susceptible.
I think we'll find that Miller was a psychotic to begin with.
Otherwise, Randolph's hypnosis would never have worked. For no normal person can be influenced the way Miller was under any circumstances.
Isn't there anything we can do for him?
No. No, he's gone. And with him, the great Randolph has died, too. For good.
This is the mysterious traveler again. So the great Randolph is dead for good, is he? I wonder. After all, Miller wasn't the only god Randolph had a chance to talk to. Oh, but he couldn't have hypnotized any of the others. I wouldn't give it another thought if I were you. Unless, of course, you were on the jury that convicted Randolph.
In that case,
Oh, you have to get off here. I'm sorry.
I'm sure we'll meet again.
I take this same train every week at this same time.
You have just heard The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. The role of the mysterious traveler is played by Maurice Tarplin. In tonight's cast were Santos Ortega, Richard Coogan, Shirley Blank, and Bill Smith. Original music composed and played by Al Finelli. All characters in this story were fictitious, and any resemblance to actual persons was purely coincidental. This is Bob Emmerich speaking.
Okay, hey, that's the first episode played. I've gotten pretty far with the tracks. This is, I think, the last piece. I built this main section of the train track. I built the next section, which is going to go on that side. This shows you how long this Orient Express is going to be. It's going to be really long. So I did this one, and I've got to duplicate that now. And then I think I got to put these where I think the train can roll. I'm hoping this is compatible because I want more tracks so that I can run it around the whole city. Because there is a way to motorize this Lego train so that you can have it a working train in your city. And that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully after this, hopefully it's compatible and I can make it all work. I should be able to. Kevin Lane, it's never, hold on, let me bring it up over here. It's easier to see. Kevin Lane, hey, good to see you, buddy. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and everything else. It's never sunny in Gotham. The closest we ever get to the bright day is the night of the full moon. But I'm reading it, Kevin. Whatever. Good to have everybody here. We're going to be doing another Mysterious Traveler. That was a good show. That was a really good episode. Mysterious Traveler, yeah, not a whole lot of them out there. There's about 83 left. Some are better quality than others. But yeah, no, these are some pretty good shows. And so next one I'm going to play is No One on the Line. No One on the Line. So I'm curious, once I get through this, almost the train tracks that's going to hold the train here, then the other pieces probably start building the first passenger train car. And that's what I'm really excited to do. This train track stuff is a little less exciting, but still enjoying it. So next one I'm going to play is No One on the Line, Mysterious Traveler, from 1946. Here we go. Gotcha, Kevin.
The Mysterious Traveler.
This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back and get a good grip on your nerves, if you can. Where are we going? Why, today we're going to accompany Mr. Harvey Benson through a fateful 24 hours of his life in a story I call No One on the Line. Our visit with Harvey Benson begins on a Wednesday evening in summer. Harvey, a self-made businessman, is smoking a cigar and reading the paper, while his wife, Linda, reads a book. It's really quite a picture of peaceful domesticity.
Well, that's that. Nothing much in the paper tonight, dear.
It's too bad your poker game tonight fell through, darling. I know how you look forward to Wednesday evening.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Good book you're reading?
Oh, yes. Yes, it's very exciting. It's a new murder mystery everybody's talking about.
I would have guessed it was rather dull from the way you've been looking at the same page for 10 minutes now.
Oh, was I? I must have been wool gathering.
Well, I guess I'll go... Oh, the phone. I'll get it, Linda.
No, sit still, Harvey. You're tired. I'll answer.
No, I insist, my dear. Hello.
Hey, Philip.
Hello. Hello. That's funny. No one on the line.
Well, how strange. Maybe the phone's out of order.
No, I heard the click as someone hung up when I answered. Oh, but it's not worth wondering about. It's getting late. What do you say we turn in?
And now we join Harvey again at breakfast the following morning. It's getting late, but Harvey lingers over his coffee as if he had the whole day ahead of him.
Good coffee, this. Pour me some more, will you, darling?
Of course, Harvey. But, shouldn't you be leaving for your office, dear?
Oh, there's plenty of time.
But it's almost 9:30.
You seem very anxious to get me to the office, Linda.
Exactly,
You're not trying to get rid of
JLR.
me
Good
by
to see you.
Oh, well, of course not. But you said you had an important appointment this morning,
Oh,
and I
yes,
just
but
thought...
the fellow will wait. Mighty good coffee, this.
Harvey,
Hmm?
is there anything wrong?
Anything wrong?
Yes. You seemed a little odd the last day or two, and this morning.
And what's the matter with me this morning?
Oh, I don't know that anything is, but you do seem a little strange.
Strange? In what way, Linda, my dear?
Oh, I'm sorry if I've said anything to annoy you, but... Oh, I'll answer it.
Still, Linda, I'll answer it.
But, Harvey, it's
I
probably...
said I'll answer it. Maybe a call I've been expecting.
All right, Harvey.
Hello? 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 Strange, there's no one on the line. Same thing that happened last night.
Well, how peculiar. Oh, but that phone must be out of order.
Yes, I suppose so. Yet I could swear I heard someone hang up when I answered.
Oh, you must have been mistaken, darling.
I suppose so. You better give the company a ring, Linda.
Yes, I will, Harvey, right away.
Good. And now I do have to be going. See you tonight, darling.
So now we accompany Harvey Benson to his office. Because we're spending one complete day with him, remember? His office is large and luxurious, reflecting the success Harvey Benson has achieved in the world by hard work and constant vigilance. Once arrived there, Harvey plunges into his work. Until shortly before noon, the sound of the inter-office phone arouses him.
Excuse me, Mr. Benson.
Oh, yes, Miss Johnson?
Mr. Mungo is here to see you. Shall I send him in?
No, ask him to wait. I'd like to see you for a moment first, Miss Johnson.
Certainly, Mr. Benson. I'll be right in.
Just got to be careful on what you say there,
Sit down, please,
Kevin,
Miss Johnson.
Yes,
when
I've
you
got my
come
book.
You
to
won't need it. I just want to chat with you for a moment.
people's races. That's all.
I don't understand, Mr. Benson.
I just want to talk to you, that's all. I don't believe you and I have ever talked before as person to person, have we?
No, sir, we haven't.
And you've been with me 7 years, isn't it?
7 years next month.
7 years, and we've never talked as equals. But then, I've never needed advice before. You've noticed that I never ask advice, I suppose.
Philip, it's the Orient Express. The Great Orient Express. So there you go. And thank you, Philip Blair, for being here. And yes. Good to see everybody.
Well, yes, I have, Mr. Benson.
Make your own decision and act upon it, is my motto. And yet, now I'm going to ask your advice as a woman, not as a secretary.
Well, I'll try to be helpful if I can.
Good. Now then, picture for yourself a woman who has always been very practical and, well, let's say rather cold. Suddenly this woman becomes dreamy and absent-minded. She stands for minutes at the window, looking at nothing. You speak to her. She doesn't hear you. What would you deduce from that?
Why, I'd say she was in love.
Excellent. Now, suppose this woman is married. Suppose on several occasions when her husband is in the room... You're following me, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Suppose on these occasions the phone rings and this married woman answers. And each time she tells the party calling he has a wrong number. What then?
Why, I suppose that could happen.
But now, Miss Johnson, suppose on several occasions the husband answers and the party at the other end hangs up without speaking.
Why, it sounds like someone trying to call the wife without her husband knowing about it.
Exactly. I felt sure I couldn't be wrong. But it's helpful to have your opinion and back me up. Thank you very much, Miss Johnson.
Why not at all, Mr. Benson?
And now, please send in Mr. Mungo.
Yes, sir, right away. Mr. Benson will see you now.
Okay, sister. Good morning, Mr. Benson.
Okay, sister.
Come in, Mungo, and close the door.
Sure, Mr. Benson.
Sit down.
Yeah, sure.
You have the information for me?
Everything's right here in my report.
Good, let's have it.
I checked thoroughly on the 4 names you suggested.
And which one was she meeting?
I only witnessed one meeting, Mr. Benson. The other time, she gave me the slip.
Then you don't know your business.
Well, what she did was go to Duke and Baker's department store, take a dress into one of the fitting rooms, and then leave by another door. I couldn't very well follow her there.
You should have managed it somehow. Never mind that. What did you learn?
I'll give you the general report first before mentioning names.
All right, do so, but don't dawdle about it.
Yes, Mr. Benson. As you'll see, I've called the 4 individuals you suggested, parties A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
Now, party B, Mrs. Benson knew before her marriage, but I found no evidence they have ever communicated since.
Yes, go on.
Parties C and D she also knew before she became Mrs. Benson, and from time to time she's seen both of them since. But those meetings appear to have been accidental.
Maybe so. Get on with it.
But party A, the architect one, I traced him back to Atlanta. That's his hometown.
Yeah? She comes from Atlanta, too.
Yes, they went to high school together, were sweet on each other for a year or two. He used to keep her picture in his room.
Oh, he did he?
Yeah. And since
Very
he
good
reached
episode
New York
here, too.
3 months ago, he's phoned her 4 or 5 times, according to the switchboard operator at his apartment house.
Yes, of course. I remember how excited she was when they met at the Jennings dance 2 months ago.
And 3 days ago, get this, when Mrs. Benson was downtown shopping, she dropped into Rass for lunch, and she ran into him there.
No doubt it was a planned meeting.
It was very cleverly done. Then they sat for 2 hours talking, and, well, that meeting was no accident.
No, of course it wasn't. Donald Arkwright. Yes, I was sure of it.
Yes, sir. But if you want me to keep on following him...
No. It's time for more decisive steps.
I don't understand.
You're not supposed to. But if you knew me better, you'd know that the moment my mind is made up, I act.
I see, Mr. Benson.
And I propose to act now. So send me your bill and forget the whole affair.
Very good, Mr. Benson. I'll forget the whole affair. I'm very good at that. Good day, Mr. Benson.
Goodbye.
Hello, Donald Arkwright speaking.
Hello, Arkwright. This is Harvey Benson. You remember me, Linda's husband?
Yes, of course, Mr. Benson. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm calling because I need an architect.
Oh, and you wanted me
Yes,
to...
I'm going to put up a summer place out on Long Island, and I wanted you to draw the plans.
Well, that's great, Mr. Benson. Now, what kind of sight have you?
I'll do better than tell you. I'll show it to you. That is, if you're free to drive out with me this morning.
Well, I do have an appointment.
Cancel it. This will be well worth your while, I assure you.
Well, all right, I will, Mr. Benson.
Good. Then I'll pick you up in my car. Say about 45 minutes.
All right, that'll be fine. I'll be looking for you.
Good. I'll see you shortly then. We'll have lunch on the way. Miss Johnson.
Yes, Mr. Benson?
I'm leaving for the day. Cancel any appointments I may have.
Now Harvey Benson leaves his office, and we follow him to the garage where he keeps his cars.
Well, Joe, you have my car ready?
I got it right here, Mr. Benson. But look, don't you want to take the new coupe?
No, I said I wanted the sedan.
Yeah, sure, but since that little accident Mrs. Benson had, the sedan ain't in too good a shape.
It'll do for today.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is it ain't safe.
I'm not worried. You put in plenty of gas?
Yep. 5 gallons, Mr. Benson. But look now, don't take no chance.
Okay, I'm pausing the story just a second here. Mysterious Traveler. Hello, everybody. Yeah. This is Secret Traveler. I think I'm done with the train track. This is... Oh, boy. Stuff flying around. Hold on. I don't want that to happen. Let's see. I have... Like, this train has got to go on here. This is long. Let me push this microphone a little bit. This is supposed to go on here. Okay. If you can kind of see me hold it up this way. This is one section. Okay. That connects in. This is where I think the train is going to stop when you back it up or push it back or whatever. I don't know. And then it's too long for me to... That's what she said. It's too long here to like... Well, I guess I can hold it up. Okay, here. That's the finished track part of it, kind of the display track. So there it is. I think I need to do one last thing to it. So I just wanted to pop in and show you guys what I was doing. I'm going to have to back some of this stuff up here. Make sure it's in firmly. Okay, and I will finish doing my thing, but that's all of that. Yeah, Harry's famous, I'll tell you that much. Okay, here we go. Rest of the show. 10 minutes in.
With them brakes, they don't hold worth a cent.
I'm aware of that.
And that right-hand door, it sticks something terrible.
What of it? What do you care?
Oh, I just thought I'd
Well,
tell
don't.
you. Golly, he's certainly in a hurry. With them brakes the way they are, he'll kill somebody if he ain't careful.
At 87th Street, Harvey Benson picks up his passenger, Donald Arkwright. And several hours later, they are far out in a lonely section of Long Island.
Just a quarter of a mile more, Arkwright. Up ahead on top of those cliffs. That's where my lots are.
I surely appreciate your asking me to prepare the plans, Mr. Benson.
Linda suggested you for the job. Said you were a first-rate architect.
Well, that's swell of her. I wasn't even sure she'd remember me.
Oh, she remembers you very well. I could see how happy she was to meet you at the Jennings party.
Yeah, I was tickled that she recognized me. After all, it's 6 years since we last met.
Well, why shouldn't she recognize you? After all, you were sweethearts, weren't you?
Well,
He was tickled.
I suppose you could have called us that. We did have some good times together. Riding, hiking, and dancing.
Well, it's plain she still thinks a lot of you. And there's the site. Right up ahead.
Oh, yeah. Smack on the edge of the cliff, huh? Well, you'll have a nice view all the way across the sound.
80 feet sheer to the water. Not another house in miles. Look, you can see all the way down to the rocks from the bend in the road here.
Well, those waves sure are kicking up a fuss. Man wouldn't last long down there.
No. No, not long.
But you don't have to worry. I'll build you a house that'll never slide over the edge.
I'm sure you'll never give me any cause to worry. Well, here we are. Have to pull the car a bit off the road, though, to park.
Oh, pretty steep here.
Yes.
I'll have to put in a retaining wall. Terrace the ground, I guess.
There. I got her off the road. We'll leave her here, where we'll have room to turn around when we're ready to start back.
Sure hope you have good brakes. I'd hate to slide over onto those rocks down there.
I'd hate to myself. Oh, want to get out and block the wheels for me?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, door won't open. Seems to be stuck.
That's right. That door does open hard. Never mind. I'll get out on this side and block them.
Well, say, aren't you forgetting to set the brakes?
Not necessary.
But this slope is steep here.
I know what I'm doing.
But look, the car's moving already. It's starting to roll forward.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And it'll keep on rolling.
Mr. Benson? I can't stop your car. The brakes won't hold. Mr. Benson, it's going over the cliff. It's going over the cliff!
Harvey stands there, watching the car roll toward the edge, while his passenger struggles frantically to get out. It only has 10 feet to go, 5 feet, and then on the very edge, the wheels twist against a rock, and the car stops.
Okay,
Harvey runs
track's
down
all
the slope
done.
and reaches the spot just as Donald Arkwright manages at last to scramble out.
Mr. Benson, you did that on purpose.
Yes, Arkwright, I did.
You tried to kill me.
Exactly, I tried to kill you.
But why? You must be crazy.
No, Arkwright, only myself. If you knew me better, you'd know that no one tries to take anything away from me without suffering for it.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. What's mine is mine. And everything that's mine, I keep.
You are crazy. I can see it. Get away from me. Take your hands off of me.
No, Arkwright, you haven't a chance.
Let me go, I say.
You'll do nothing. In this world, a man has to be strong and ruthless to stay on top. And I'm both.
No, you're pushing me toward the edge. Let me go.
You're going over, do you hear? You're going over.
No!
For a moment, Harvey stands, glaring down at the white-capped waters that have received his victim. Then he turns to the car. A quick twist of the steering wheel, a push, and the car is gone. Then Harvey turns away, back to the road. He walks a mile, 2 miles, 3, until he gets a lift from a driver who takes him to the nearest state police barracks, where State Police Sergeant Thomas hears his story.
Mr. Benson, you say you got out of the car to block the wheels, and the car started rolling forward?
Yes, Sergeant. Arkwright tried to open the door, but it stuck. The car was at the edge by the time he got it open. He jumped, but he was too late.
I see. All right, I have the details straight.
It was horrible, Sergeant. He was my friend. There was nothing I could do to help. Nothing.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Benson. You were quite alone at the time? No witnesses?
No, we were miles from the nearest house. Why do you ask?
Well, because there's a Boy Scout camp about a mile from there, Mr. Benson. I thought some of the boys might have been within sight.
Oh, no. There wasn't anyone in sight.
I see. Well, I guess that's all, Mr. Benson. It's just about dark now, so we probably won't recover the body before tomorrow. I'll notify you the minute we do, so you can identify your friend.
And so, late in the evening, Harvey returns home to find Linda waiting for him anxiously.
Is that you, Harvey?
Yes, my dear, it is.
Well, I waited in as long as I could, and then I went ahead and ate. Shall I fix you something now?
No, thank you. I've eaten. Let's sit down, Linda. I'd like to talk to you.
Why, of course, Harvey.
Did you have the phone fixed?
The phone? Oh, no, I called the company, but they said there was nothing wrong with it.
I see. Well, they were quite right. I discovered that the trouble was from another source.
I don't think I understand you, Harvey.
Linda, my dear, do you consider me a fool?
Why, Well, of course not.
Don't you suppose that I've known what was going on for some days now?
Just what do you mean, Harvey?
When a woman suddenly takes to mooning around the house, staring out the window, not answering when she's spoken to, the signs are unmistakable.
Are you speaking about...
Yeah, without a doubt, Harry, motorizing it is going to be the coolest part of it. And I did find a video where you can motorize it. So hopefully it works. Yeah, and I seem to be missing a couple pieces unless I put it on this. I'm going to have to backtrack, but keep enjoying.
Me, Harvey?
And when that same woman gets several phone calls while her husband is in the room and each time tells the caller, "I'm afraid you have the wrong number. There's no one here by that name." It would be a very stupid husband indeed who failed to notice.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it
But
would.
the crowning touch was those calls when there was no one on the line. One several days ago, one last night, and now one this morning.
But, Harvey...
I answer and there's no one on the line. But who's there when you answer? That's what I want to know, Linda. Well, what have you to say?
There isn't much I can say, Harvey.
Oh, then you admit it. Those calls were from someone I wasn't supposed to know about. Someone you're in love with.
Yes. Someone I'm in love with. Someone I've been trying to bring myself to tell you about.
Someone you've been meeting at Tawdry Rendezvous.
Nothing of the kind. We've met, yes. But they've been perfectly innocent meetings, lunch, and a walk in the park. Nothing worse than that.
You're a fool to expect me to believe that.
Yes, I suppose I am. And yet it's the truth.
Well, it doesn't matter. But may I inquire what your plans are?
I want a divorce, Harvey.
So that you can marry this unknown who telephones you and then hangs up when I answer.
Yes. And I'm sorry that ever happened. It was my fault. I suggested it. You see, I was afraid of you, Harvey.
Afraid? Of me? Of your loving husband?
I was. But I'm not anymore. I only want to be free of you. Free to marry the man I really love.
Very interesting, my dear, but slightly impractical. Do you really think I'd let anyone take you away from me?
I'm afraid you have no choice.
Well, you're wrong. It's you who have no choice. You're penniless, Linda. You have no family, no money, no training. You have only me.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just leading up to a story I have to tell you, Linda. A very tragic story which occurred only this afternoon.
And so Harvey tells Linda the story of the afternoon's events. Well, not the true story, of course, but she guesses the truth as he speaks and recoils in horror when he is finished.
Oh, you've killed him. You deliberately murdered him.
Nonsense. It was a tragic accident. The police have already exonerated
You
me.
killed him? Oh, no. No, I don't believe you. You're just trying to torture me.
You know me better than that. You know
That what I have I keep at any cost.
Then you did kill him. You're a murderer.
Don't be hysterical, my dear. I shall be forced to discipline you.
I'm going to the police. I'm going to tell them the truth.
Linda, come back here.
No, you can't stop
Linda,
me.
come back.
Come back, I say.
Linda is gone before Harvey can get to the door. Harvey pauses, irresolute. Then he shrugs, turns back, sits down, lights a cigar.
Good cigar. I must remember to order another box. And so, Linda, you've rushed off to the police. In your heart of hearts, you hope that I'm lying. Your first move will be to rush to a telephone. You'll put a nickel and dial with trembling fingers. You'll hear the phone at the other end ring. And with beating heart, you'll wait, hoping against hope that Donald Arkwright will answer. But he won't. And then you'll know I've told the truth. Then... Will you come back first? Or will you go on to the police? I rather think you'll go to the police. For you are excited just now. And you'll return with a detective or two. I shall have to explain to them, tell them of your hysterical spells. Then you and I will be left alone. And in a day or two, I think we'll leave on a little trip. Yes, up to my hunting lodge,
where we can be alone there.
Found
We'll
it.
get to
That
know
was
each other
annoying.
well again. Very well. And in the future... Ah, the bell. So you're back already, Linda. I guessed wrong. Just a moment, my dear. I'm coming.
Harvey crosses to the door, opens it, and recoils in surprise.
Good evening, Mr. Benson.
Well, if it isn't Sergeant Thomas. And I see my wife is with you.
Yes, we met in the lobby. She came back up with me. I'd like to come in.
Why, of course.
After you, Mrs. Benson. These other men will wait out here.
Thank you, Sergeant.
And now do sit down, Linda. And you too, Sergeant. Oh, cigar.
No, thanks. We might as well waste no time, Mr. Benson. We've recovered your friend's body.
Already? But surely you didn't come here to tell me that.
They know you killed him, Harvey. They know.
Please, Linda, you must forgive my wife, Sergeant. She's overwrought. I suppose she's been babbling some nonsense or other to you?
She told me a story. I don't think it's nonsense.
Of course it is. She's hysterical.
But there were witnesses, Harvey. There were witnesses.
What? That's absurd. There was no one within miles.
Except a camp of Boy Scouts. 4 of them with a scoutmaster were lying in the grass half a mile away when you drove up. They were watching for birds with field glasses.
You're lying.
And with natural curiosity, they turned their glasses on you. They saw your struggle on the cliff.
No, you're lying.
They went to another police barrack to report, or I'd have been here sooner. Here are copies of the affidavits they signed.
Affidavit?
Yeah. Look 'em over.
Affidavits. 5 of them. Yes, they seem to be in order. So there were witnesses. I dare say their evidence is unshakable.
You haven't a chance, Benson. Well, those men outside are city detectives. Are you going to come quietly?
Yes. Why not? What else is there to do?
You're caught, Harvey, and I'm glad. Glad.
Yes, I'm caught. But precious little good that'll do you, Linda, because he's dead. Do you hear? Donald Arkwright is dead.
Donald Arkwright.
Yes. You wonder how I knew it was he, don't you? Well, I hired a private detective.
Oh.
And he discovered that Arkwright had been phoning you, that you'd been slipping away to meet him. He managed to follow you to one of those innocent luncheons.
That luncheon. But that meeting was an accident.
A very clever accident, but not clever enough to save Arkwright because he's dead, do you hear? And no matter what happens to me, I've beaten you.
You're insane. You always have been with your lust for power, and I never guessed it till now.
Fine words. But they won't change the fact that your beloved is dead and that I've taken him from you.
You killed Donald Arkwright because you thought I was in love with him. You've killed the wrong man.
No,
She's hysterical.
Arkwright, I know it.
Oh, no. Don Arkwright was just an old friend. The man I love is someone you've never met, whose name I see now you don't even know.
I don't believe you.
You've committed murder, and you've been caught, and all for nothing.
No.
And that knowledge is worse to you than any punishment the law can inflict.
You're lying. It was Arkwright who phoned and hung up when I answered. I tell you it was. It couldn't have been anybody else. No. No.
Better answer it, Mrs. Benson.
No, I'll answer it. Hello? Hello? Hello!
This is the mysterious traveler again. Well, that was rather a hectic 24 hours for Harvey Benson, wasn't it? He shouldn't have been quite so sure of himself. It never pays. Those phone calls now. If you get any calls and find there's no one on the line, don't be quite as hasty as he was. You might get into a bad jam.
I know someone else who didn't wait to make sure of his facts, and he...
Oh, you're getting off here. I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week. at this time.
You've just heard The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. In today's cast were Maurice Tarplin, Ted Osborne, Mary Jane Higby, Jack Manning, and James Van Dyke. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. The Mysterious Traveler is written and directed by Bob Arthur and David Kogan. Listen next week over most of these mutual stations to a tale titled
Death Whispers Softly.
Another Tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented by the Mutual Network from our New York studios.
Well, there you go. There you go. That was Mysterious Traveler, No One on the Line from 1946. So, very cool. Yeah, I lost a couple pieces, and they were in the other tray. I thought I put everything out there pretty easy right here, but I should have had that separated too. But now it's right here in front of me. So, but here is the cart, the first train cart. It's going to be pretty darn big. As you can see, this is probably going to be a little bar area. Couple tables and a chair on the inside. Lots of printed pieces and cool pieces. So this is the exciting part. This is the part like that. In my mind, I'm imagining myself sitting in the train and all that good stuff. So I can't wait to see. And I'll keep showing it like that, the details of as it's, I continue to build it. So... And as usual, there'll be a final video once everything's done where I finish it up and I review it. You know what I mean? Let you know what I think of the building process and everything. But, I mean, so far, very good. I love this thing. Horror Junkie for life. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you, Horror Junkie. Appreciate it. Decided to stream my building of my Lego stuff in my Lego City and just share everything during the day that I'm doing before the overnight streams. Me and Dave still on Sunday nights as usual. But yeah, and I'm going to play some old time radio shows in the mix here while I'm doing it. Tonight seems only right to play Mysterious Traveler, so that's what I'm doing. That old train whistle at the beginning. So good to see you, Horror Junkies. Hopefully everything's going good. That is another good story, Harry Scott. And funny Philip Blair with the crow. Yeah, flying away with my pieces. That is funny. Horror Junkie for life. Gifted one Late Horror Show membership. Thank you. To Mr. North Canada. Way up there. Thank you. I really appreciate your... support over all these years on the channel, Horror Junkie, and everybody else as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to continue to build this cart, this railroad cart, and let you guys see how it all turns out as we play another episode. Let's keep it going. Let's play another one. This one is Death is a Visitor. Death is a Visitor, a Mysterious Traveler. From 1946. So as I build, I will let you guys listen to some old time radio. So here you go. And hopefully everybody has a great 4th of July. I will probably be streaming tomorrow. I'm not big on looking, at the fireworks. And I believe my son will be off with his friends and same with my daughter. So... yeah, that's probably what's going to go on there. So I will be streaming the continuation of this train, see how quickly I can get it done. Because I want to finish up the city. Not finish it up. It's going to be a long time before it's finished. But and show everybody kind of the updated thing. So Death is the Visitor, Mysterious Traveler from 1946. Here we go. Enjoy it. And thanks, Horror Junkie.
The Mysterious Traveler.
This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, and it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back and get a good grip on your nerves, if you can. Where are we going? Why, we're going to pay a visit to the home of Albert and Louise Jordan. As nice a couple as you'd hope to meet. In a story I call Death is the Visitor. My story begins in the Jordan home late on a hot summer night. Albert Jordan is asleep and is having a nightmare about his mother-in-law.
Oh, no. You can't pull the wool over my eyes, Albert Jordan. I'm on to your ways. Think that my only child was foolish enough to elope with you. But you made her do it, Albert. You made her.
No. She wanted
As long as I'm alive, she'll be protected from you. Albert, are you listening?
Leave me alone. Please.
Darling, wake up.
What is it?
You were having a nightmare, dear. You don't want to wake Mother up. She needs a good night's sleep for a trip tomorrow.
Oh, yes, the trip. I wish it was tomorrow already. She was gone.
Are you sure you have everything, Mother?
Yes, Louise. Everything I need for my trip home is in this handbag. Oh, now don't forget to ship my trunk.
I've already notified the expressman, Mother. He'll be here to pick it up this morning.
Thank you, dear.
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, Mother. You'll miss your train.
I've never missed a train in my life. You needn't be so anxious to get rid of me, Albert.
Not really, Mother. I didn't mean...
Oh, Louise, darling, I do hate leaving you alone like this.
But, Mother, I'm not alone. I have Albert.
Well, I don't mind saying it right to his face. I don't trust him, Louise, and I never will. I'm rarely wrong about people, you know that.
Now, see here, Mother. I've had about enough. Louise and I get along perfectly well when you're not here.
See, Louise, what a temper he has. Do you want me to stay, darling?
Really, Mother, I'm very happy with Albert.
Oh, well, very well, then I'll go. But you'd better be good to her, Albert.
Yes, Mother. I will.
Well, goodbye. And don't forget, Louise, Mother'll be back if you need her.
Yes, Mother. Bye.
Louise, if your mother pays us just one more visit, I'll leave this house for good.
Albert, what are you saying?
In the past year, she spent 8 months with us. She has her clothes here, a key to the house. Why, she's even listed in the phone book under our number. I tell you, I won't be responsible for what happens if she doesn't stay away.
I'll write to her, Albert, and try to explain. Really, I will.
Make her understand that we have our own lives to lead.
Thank you, Connie. And hello, Jacko. Mysterious Traveler on right now.
Now that she's gone, I feel like a new man. I can breathe in my own house.
Oh, Albert, you won't forget to put the tags on Mother's trunk, will you? The expressman will be here for it soon.
No, dear. Shipping your mother's trunk to her will be one thing I certainly won't forget. Let me see. This is Hortense Murdoch. 125 River Road, Ferndale, Pennsylvania.
That won't be necessary, Albert. My trunk can remain here.
Mother, but you went to catch your train.
I know I did, but I changed my mind about going. I won't leave my little girl alone. Why are you looking so startled, Albert? Are you hiding something from me?
No. No, of course not.
Where's Louise?
She went downtown an hour ago.
She should be home soon. I'm sure at least she'll be glad to see me. Oh, you haven't locked my trunk yet.
I'm always
That's
scared
good.
putting these stickers on.
Again.
You've always wanted to get rid of me, Albert. Keep me away from my only child, but I refuse to give her up.
Yes, I've come back, Albert, and I'm staying for good. Frankly, I don't trust you.
You don't trust me?
No. I don't even know your background. For all I know, you may have criminal tendencies.
There's a certain amount of the criminal in all of us. Most people can control their worst instincts, and some can't.
Exactly. And I'm here to see to it that no one harms Louise.
But, Mother, who's going to look out for you?
Albert, why are you looking so queerly at me? Are you sick?
Yes, Mother, I'm sick. Sick of the sight of you.
Albert, stop looking at me that way. Why, you seem like a different person.
I am, Mother. You've made me different, and now you must take the consequences.
Albert, stay away from me. Don't you dare come near me.
So you would keep coming back, Mother. Well, you came back just once too often.
No, Albert. Don't touch me. Albert,
You should have taken that train, Mother. But at least now, I know you won't be coming back ever again. I didn't want to kill you, but you made me. Oh, but now I've got to get rid of you or they'll catch me. The trunk. Yes, it's large enough. Even in death, you're a problem, Mother. But you won't be for long. There. Now I'll have to get rid of the trunk. Somehow. I'll think of a way.
Albert, are you home?
My God, that sticker was hard. Jeez.
Yes, dear. Yes.
Good morning,
I see you're
Jocko.
locking the trunk.
Yes, I was just getting it ready for the
Yikes.
expressman.
He should be here by now. Albert, is anything wrong?
Anything wrong? What do you mean, Louise?
I don't know. Your face is so flushed.
Oh, it's just a little warm in here, that's all.
Oh, we forgot to pack Mother's robe. Look. Oh, you'll have to open the trunk again, Albert.
No, I mean, the trunk's full already. You wouldn't be able to get anything else into it.
Why, nonsense. When Mother and I packed it, it was only half full. Oh, please open it.
But it's locked and we haven't got the keys.
Oh, yes, that's right. Mother has them. Well, we'll just have to mail the robe to her. Oh, I'll answer the door. It must be the expressman. Make sure the tags are on it, dear.
The tags. Oh, it's can't go to her home. Oh, if I only had time to think. Wait, yes, that's the only thing to do.
Come this way, please. You'll find the trunk in this room. Here it is. Are you finished, Albert?
Yes, it's all ready to go.
Okay. Well, I'll make a racket of it. Now, let me see. It's being shipped to...
Perhaps you'd better load it on the truck first.
It's easier this way, mister. You're shipping it to Mr. William Smith, 345 Wood Street, Las Vegas?
Well, that isn't the right address.
Then, what is it on this shipping tag, lady?
Oh, well, that must be one of my customers. I must have been thinking of someone else when I wrote it out.
Yeah, but what's the right address?
Oh, it's Mrs. Hortense Murdoch, 125 River Road, Ferrydale, Pennsylvania. That's right, isn't it, dear?
Yes.
Okay, I know your name and address. I'll put the right tags on later. That's mighty heavy.
Oh, please be careful with it.
Don't worry, lady. I'll get there safe and sound.
Albert, did you get the mail just now?
Yes, dear.
Is there a letter from Mother yet?
No, just a few bills.
Oh, I'm really worried. It's a week now and no word from her.
But you mustn't worry, Louise. I'm sure she's all right.
Why, Albert, you're even worried yourself about her. You look so upset.
Oh, I'll answer.
I'll come with you. Maybe it's a special delivery from Mother.
Yes?
Hey, good morning. I got a trunk here for you folks.
What? It's Mother's trunk.
Yes.
You always wanted to get rid of me, Albert. But I've come back, Albert, and I'm staying for good.
Bring it in, won't you, please?
Okay, lady. There you are.
But I don't understand. Why should Mother send her trunk back to us?
Would you mind signing for it, Mr. Jordan?
What? Oh, yes. Here you are.
Thanks. Bye.
Albert, I can't understand why Mother shipped her trunk back to us, and without even writing a word about it. Can you figure it out?
What? Oh, no, I can't.
Well, I'm going to put an end to this guessing.
Louise, what are you going to do?
I'm calling Mother.
Hello, operator. I want to put through a call to Ferrydale, Pennsylvania. The number is 223.
Why bother, Louise? I'm sure there's a letter on the way.
Oh, I've waited long enough for one. I'm sure there's something wrong. Oh, hello? Oh, hello,
Yeah, it's
Sarah.
just the stickers
This is
are
Louise
tough,
calling.
man. Whew.
Is my mother
My
there?
fingers, they're too big.
What? Are you sure? Oh, and that's why you shipped the trunk back. No, thank you, Sarah. Albert, Sarah says that Mother never arrived home. She sent a postcard saying not to expect her just yet.
Was Sarah the one who shipped the trunk back?
Yes. She thought that Mother had decided to stay with us longer and would need her clothes. But, Albert, where can she be?
Oh, now, Louise, I'm sure she's all right.
All right, she's been missing a week. How could she be?
Well, perhaps she's staying with friends.
You know Mother hasn't any friends. We've got to do something. Albert, I'm going to call the police.
The police investigated, but they had no clues, so they didn't learn anything. And George got rid of the embarrassing trunk just as fast as he could. Telling Louise he was going to put it into storage, he took it to a trucking company to ship it as far away as it could go. It was the only thing he could think of to do.
All right, I got it straight, I guess, now. Mr. Richard Jones, 65 Ocean Avenue, Los Angeles. That right?
Yes, that's right. He's my brother.
Yeah, and your name is,
Martin Jones.
Yeah?
1635 Sherwood Road, Riverdale, New York.
Jones, Sherwood Road, Riverdale. All right, Mr. Jones, now let's see. That'll be $18.
Oh, well, here's 20.
Hey, Lulu Bell.
Keep the change.
Oh,
What's going on,
thanks,
Lulu
Mr.
Bell?
Jones. Here's your receipt.
It'll go out right away.
There's a truck leaving tonight. Don't you worry. This trunk will get to Los Angeles all right.
That's fine. It'll be quite a load off my mind when it's gone.
A week passed, 2 weeks, 3, and poor Albert was breathing more easily again. Until one morning when something most unexpected happened.
Louise, darling.
Yes, Albert.
Oh, darling, I have a present for you. Some flowers. Just saw them and thought you'd like them.
Thank you, Albert. You're very thoughtful.
Louise, your mother's been missing more than a month now. You can't go on like this. You'll have a breakdown.
Oh, Albert, where can she be? Why can't the police find her?
Well, darling, if she hasn't been found in 5 weeks... Oh, excuse me, dear. I'll answer it.
Maybe it's news of Mother, Albert.
Good evening. I got a trunk here. I think belongs to you.
A trunk?
Yeah, that's right.
You've always wanted to get rid of me, Albert. But I've come back, Albert. I've come back.
Do you recognize it? It's yours, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Huh? Well, ain't you the fella that shipped this trunk about a month ago? Didn't you give me a $2 tip?
I'm afraid you have me confused with someone else. Don't you know where the trunk goes?
Well, no. You see, it's come all the way back from California. It seems there wasn't no such address where this was shipped to.
Surely it had a return address.
Yeah, but the trunk got wet. The return address kind of washed off, so it came back to the office where it was shipped from.
Oh, but what makes you think it belongs here?
Well, you see, I kind of did a little detective work. The initials stamped on the trunk are HGM. Well, I looked it up in the phone book, and the only person in town with those initials lives here.
Well, I'm sorry, but it certainly isn't my trunk.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to trouble you.
It is messing with me.
You was the
Jeez.
guy that gave me that $2 tip.
Where will you take the trunk now?
Oh, it'll be put to the unclaimed baggage, and then in a few months it'll be auctioned off.
Auctioned off?
Yeah. You'd be surprised what you sometimes find in them, just like a grab bag game. Well, sorry to trouble you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
What did you say those initials were?
HGM.
HGM. What? They're my mother-in-law's initials. Her name is Hortense G. Murdoch.
Well, sure. That was the only name in the book with those initials. That's why I came here.
Well, that was a very clever piece of detective work. Yes, of course it's her trunk. I don't know why I didn't recognize it.
Well, you know, trunks, they kind of look alike.
Yes, that's right. Well, bring it in.
Trunks are funny things, aren't they? You have something valuable in one, and just as likely as not, it'll get lost. But put
Guess
something you
that'll
don't
work.
want in it, like a mother-in-law, and it'll come back every time. You can hardly blame Albert for being upset, especially since Louise wanted to open the trunk to look for possible clues. But Albert managed to get Louise out of the house, then put
Yes,
the trunk
Lulu,
onto the
Jocko.
trunk rack of his car and started out. Several hours later, he was at the receiving platform of an all-night storage warehouse in New York.
Yes, mister? Can I help you?
Pardon me, but you store trunks here, don't you?
Yeah, sure. We store anything in here. You want to store that trunk you got there?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, I'll make out a ticket. Now, what's your name?
Williams, John Williams.
The address?
313 Maple Street.
Yeah, but what city, mister? What city?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore. Okay. Charge is $3 a month. How long you want to pay for?
Quite a while. I'll be leaving the country, and...
Well, what is it? Anything wrong, mister?
Oh, dear. I only seem to have $6 with me.
Well,
that'll pay for
went
2 months.
perfect.
Then we'll send you a bill.
No, that won't be necessary. I'll send you a money order in a few days. I may be out of the country for several years.
Okay. Leave the trunk there. I'll take care of it. And here's your receipt. Just put the number of it in your letter when you send the money.
I will. I won't forget. Good night.
Good night. Hey, Mr. Williams. Mr. He's gone. There's a receipt on the platform where he dropped it. The nervous type. Oh, well, I suppose they can forward it to him from Baltimore.
When Albert found he'd lost his receipt for the trunk, he was badly upset at first. That meant he couldn't send any money for future storage charges. But after all, there was no identification inside it, and he'd rubbed Mother's initials off the outside this time. So how could anyone trace it back to him? Especially since they'd be looking for him in Baltimore. So in a few weeks, Albert was himself again. Except for a nightmare once in a while.
After all, what do I know about you, Albert? You may have criminal tendencies, and I'm going to protect my daughter from you. Yes, I've come back, and you're not going to get rid of me. Do you hear me, Albert? I've come back to stay.
No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I can't.
Albert.
No.
Albert, wake up.
What is it, Louise?
You were moaning in your sleep, dear. You must have been having a nightmare.
Oh, yes, I was. But it's not important. It's just that midnight snack I had. Go back to sleep, darling.
But as the months passed, so did the nightmares. And finally, Albert was his old cheerful self again.
Good evening, dear. How are you?
I'm all right, Albert.
Fine. Say, I bumped into George Horton and his wife while on the way home, and they asked us to come to the charity bazaar tonight.
That was very nice of them, Albert.
Well, why don't we go? There'll be an auction, a raffle, supper, dancing. It'll do you good.
I know, but somehow I don't feel like meeting people.
But you can't go on this way, Louise, cutting yourself off from the world.
I've been unfair to you, haven't I, Albert? Keeping you home night after night all these months.
Oh, why, darling, you know I've been perfectly happy. It's been so nice. Just the two of us.
You've been perfectly wonderful, Albert, and I'm afraid I've been acting very selfishly. All right, I'll go to that charity affair tonight.
Now, what am I bid for this beautiful antique lamp? Do I hear dollar? Do I hear dollar?
I'll bid $1.
Ah, there we have a lady with a real sense of beauty. Now, do I hear $2? Do I hear $2?
Well, good evening, George.
Well, hello, Albert. Hello, Louise.
Hello, George.
Gee, I'm sure glad you two came. Missed you both a lot these past months.
Well, I hope you'll be seeing more of us. Hey, we've got quite a crowd here tonight.
Oh, yeah. We hope to raise quite a bit of money. Say, that auctioneer's a genius. Come on, let's get a little closer.
All right.
Now, that gentleman over there, the one with the superb eye for beauty, bids $5 for this lamp. Do I hear $5.50? Your last chance, ladies and gentlemen, going at $5 once, going twice, sold to the gentleman in the tweed suit, and very fortunate he is.
That lamp couldn't have cost more than $3 when it was new. Well, now we come to the raffle.
The raffle?
Yeah, the raffle for a mystery prize donated by yours truly, George Horton.
Oh.
Better let me sell you a few tickets, Albert. They're only 50 cents each.
No, thanks, George. We just came to be sociable.
Better take a chance. No telling what you might win.
Now, next, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the feature of the evening. A raffle for a mystery prize, which I have hidden here beneath this canvas cover. Now, I'm going to lift this cover and show you a locked trunk. Now, take a good look at it.
Trunk. Oh, no. It can't be. It is. She's come back again.
Yes, Albert, I've come back. And I'm going to stay for good this time.
Oh, no.
Now, this is no ordinary trunk, ladies and gentlemen. It was donated by a gentleman who bought it for storage charges. Now, who knows what it contains? Perhaps the crown jewels of old Russia. Or better still, a case of scotch. Now, take a good look at it and try to guess.
Albert, you're so pale. Is there anything wrong?
No, of course not. George, where did you get this trunk?
Oh, that big storage place in New York. You know, on the east side. Somebody did keep up the storage charges on it, and all the notifications they mailed came back, so...
Yes, I see.
Now that you've seen all the prizes, and particularly seen this prize, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going to want to buy not one, not two, but half a dozen chances each. What can be in it? Guessing is half the fun. Well, now we're all going to adjourn for supper, and immediately after supper, the big drawing will be held. So buy your chances now and win yourself a trunk full of surprise and pleasure.
Well, Albert, changed your mind about buying a chance or two?
Yes, George. Yes, I have. I'll take all you've got.
Sounds good, Harry.
Albert, I don't understand you. You bought every chance that was left on that trunk.
Louise,
Had to go get more pieces.
What on earth do you want with an old trunk that looks a lot like Mother's trunk, doesn't it?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But of course it does, Albert. It's the same make and color. It has the same dent there. But it couldn't be.
Of course not. The idea's absurd.
Darling, you're acting so strangely. You didn't eat any supper, and
For
now
heaven's sakes, Louise, will you stop nagging me?
I'm sorry.
Hello, Max.
Oh, hello. Feeling pretty sure you're going to win it with all those tickets, huh, Albert?
I hope so.
I knew the mystery of it would get you. Say, I've even got a ticket on it myself. So you'll have some competition.
Oh, I'll win it. I've got to.
Well, I did my best. I picked out the heaviest trunk the place had for sale. So I don't want the winner to blame me if he doesn't like what he finds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the feature of the evening, the drawing for the locked mystery trunk. Now, my assistant has put all the ticket stubs in the wire wheel, and so I spin it thus. Round and round it goes, and where it stops, nobody knows. Now, the stubs are thoroughly mixed, and I stop the wheel so that this lovely young lady may reach in and withdraw the number of the lucky winner. Now, will you open your eyes, please, and read the number that you have drawn?
Number 38.
Number 38. Number 38. Number 38 is the winner. Is the holder of number 38 here, please?
Yes, I have it. I've won. I've won.
Well, good for you, Albert.
Congratulations, sir. May I have your ticket, please, so that I may compare it with the stub that the young lady drew?
Yes, of course. Here it is.
Thank you. Now, I place the ticket and the stub together, and we...
What is it?
I'm very sorry. I'm afraid an error has occurred.
An error? What do you mean?
The young lady misread the winning number. It is number 33, not 38.
No, you're lying. I won. The trunk's mine.
Now, I'm sorry, but mistakes will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I must make a correction. The winning number is 33. Is the holder of number 33 present?
Oh, yes. Why, that's my number. Well, hard luck, Albert. But I guess you don't win after all.
Now, may I have your ticket, please?
Sure. Here.
Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the lucky winner, purely by chance, is the gentleman who donated the prize, Mr. George Horton. And congratulations to you, sir. And I hope you'll open the trunk now and let the rest of us know what we missed out on.
I certainly will.
No, he can't open it. You haven't got the key.
No, but I have a bunch here that I borrowed from a locksmith, and one of them's bound to work.
But you mustn't open it. George, I'll buy that trunk from you.
Well, I don't want to sell. I want to know what's in the trunk. That's where the fun comes in.
I'll give you $100. You can't refuse.
100? Well, if you want it that bad, all right.
I'll give you my check tomorrow.
Yeah, but there's one condition.
Condition?
Yeah, that you open the trunk here so we can all see what's in it.
Oh, no, I won't do it.
Well, then the deal's off. Sorry, Albert, but curiosity has the better of me.
Oh, come on. George, please listen to me.
Sorry, Albert, sorry. Just a minute, everybody. As soon as I find one of these keys at bed, I'll...
I told you I'd come back, Albert, and I have. You should have known I would.
No.
Darling, you're not well.
Very
Oh,
true.
No, you...
Very true, Max.
It's just no use.
What on earth do you mean?
You'll never be rid of me, Albert. Never. I've come back to stay this time.
I think I've got it. Yeah, this key seems to be turning.
No, wait.
Matter, what is it?
You mustn't open it.
Oh, Albert, fun's fun, but after all...
I had something to tell you. She's beaten me. I can't keep it hidden any longer.
That's right, Albert. Tell them it's the only way you can ever be rid of me. Go on. Tell them.
Well, Albert?
I did it. I killed her.
Did what? Killed who?
Albert, what are you talking about?
I killed Louise's mother. Her body is in that trunk.
Oh, no.
Albert, that's a very poor joke.
Oh, it's no joke. I thought I could get rid of her, but I can't. She keeps coming back and coming back and coming back, and I can't stand it any longer. Go on, open the trunk now. You'll see I'm telling the truth. Go on, open it.
All right, we will. Please stand back, everybody. Come on, stand back, all of you.
Yes, back.
Auctioneer, help me, will you?
Yes, sure, Mr. Wharton. I'll undo this catch now. There. All right, now lift her.
Albert, this trunk. Why, there's nothing in it but old books.
This is the mysterious traveler again. Poor Albert. He let himself be fooled by the wrong trunk. Maybe it was his guilty conscience. What happened to him? Why, he's getting the best of attention these days in a small but comfortable room with bars over the windows. The only trouble is the bars won't keep his mother-in-law out. She comes in every night to talk to him. So if you're ever tempted to... Oh, you're getting off here. I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at this time.
You have just heard The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. Listen next week over most of these mutual stations to a tale titled
Murder is no accident.
Another Tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented by the Mutual Network from our New York studios. Russ Dunbar speaking. Stay tuned to this station for another exciting crime drama. True Detective Mysteries, which immediately follows station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Okay, well, there you go. That's the another mysterious traveler. Death is the visitor. That wasn't as good as the first two, that's for sure. But still pretty good. I'm, I think I'm learning. I thought I'd do something different this time. And again, if you're here, I'm putting together the Orient Express Lego Ideas set. And yeah, what I decided. Oh, and it looks so good. And so far, it's awesome. Although I do hate stickers. My fingers are too big to put stickers precisely on anything small. I mean, it's just too tough. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking really good. The cart is looking really good. I'm just finding out that I just put so many of the first sets out on the table, and I'm missing some pieces, so I have to keep going back and looking for them in other bags, which I don't know why. I separated everything wrong. So lesson learned on how to separate all these pieces, because I can't find... Oh, there it is. There, I found it. But this is a fun build, that's for sure. But next time I'm going to have to lay everything out so that I know where everything is. Yeah. But anyways, UFOs no joke. What is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, just going through this. Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. It's a very fun build, except for the stickers, and I'm missing a couple pieces, which I found. Again, I should go one at a time. Anyways, it is what it is. But overnight tonight, you guys, we got Richard Diamond. I'm going to play a lot of Richard Diamond tonight because I'm in the mood for Richard Diamond. So that will be overnight tonight. I am just playing some Mysterious Traveler while I build. So let's keep it going. Let's continue. I will play another Mysterious Traveler. And it's 8 o'clock getting there. Probably go another hour. We'll see how long it takes me. I got up until the stream overnight tonight, but yes, I'm loving, and I'm going to be giving an update on the Lego City very, very soon, because the park's almost done. Once the park's almost done, then I can show you guys. So let me play another episode and continue the build here. The next one I'm going to play is called The Case of Charles Foster. The Case of Charles Foster, Mysterious Traveler from 1945, a little earlier. So enjoy it while I try my hardest to find all these pieces and put it together. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up. Comment afterwards if you want. Please do. Yeah, thank you very much. Here we go. The Case of Charles Foster. And I'm going to continue this build. Train. Woo, woo, I'll tell you.
The Mysterious Traveler. This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can. Where are we going? We're going to join Charles Foster as he takes an excursion into crime. I call the story The Case of Charles Foster. Late one evening several years ago, when I was practicing medicine in a large eastern city...
Yeah, these take a while.
I visited Charles Foster, a friend and patient of mine. I took with me Flush, a cocker spaniel he had entrusted to me.
Hello, Doctor. Glad you were able to come. I see you brought Flush. Hello, Flush, old boy.
He's missed you, Charles.
I've missed him, too, Doctor. Been quite lonesome without him these past few months. Down, boy. It's a good dog.
How do you feel, Charles?
Oh, I'm all right, Doctor. You needn't worry about me.
I'm glad to hear that.
I suppose you've been quite puzzled about everything that's happened these past months.
Frankly, Charles, I have. Even now, I find it difficult to believe that you could...
Doctor, I'm going to tell you something that I've never told anyone. I thought I'd go to the grave with my secret, but, you've always been friends, and I'd like you to know the truth.
As you wish, Charles.
It's strange how little people know of one another. For 10 years, Agatha and I were married, and to the outside world, we were a happily married couple. But in the privacy of our home, I found life with Agatha a nightmare.
I never would have guessed that.
For 10 years, I stood her sharp tongue and constant nagging. I might have gone on taking it the rest of my life. Fate hadn't decreed otherwise. It was 3 years ago, on a beautiful spring evening, that fate stepped in to change the entire course of my life.
Is that you, Charles?
Booze
Yes, Agatha.
acquired.
Did you
left
remember
the-
to buy me some more
Enjoy
white
her,
raisins?
junkie.
Yes, here it is. Supper ready?
Some men would be more interested in their wives' health than their own suppers.
I'm sorry, Agatha, but you really don't look sick to me.
That's because you don't care. I'm not well, and you know it. I work myself to death day in and day out, keeping this house clean. And little thanks do I get for
I've
it.
told you before, Agatha, if the house is too much for you, hire a maid.
And how exactly can we afford a maid on your miserable bookkeeper's salary?
Well, if you can't manage it out of my salary, there's always the $50,000 your father left you.
That money is mine, and I'm not spending a single cent of it. It's up to you to provide a maid.
All right, Agatha, please. Let's not quarrel. Oh, hello, Flush. How are you, old boy?
Oh, you care more about that dog than you do me.
You know that isn't true.
It is. Sometimes I think the only reason you come home is because of that dirty old dog.
Quiet,
Get away
Flush.
from me. All he does is eat and put his filthy paws on my furniture. I want you to get rid of that dog, Charles.
What a mean woman.
Buy some poison at the drugstore and dispose of him.
You can't stand to see me have anything that makes me happy, can you? Well, I'm not getting rid of him.
Charles, this is my house, not yours. And I don't want him here.
Come on, Flush.
Don't think that by walking away that ends the matter, Charles Foster. You'd better get rid of that dog, do you hear?
Glad to get out of the house, eh, old boy? So am I. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it? Come on, boy. We're going to take a long walk. You want to turn around and go home now, Flush? No, neither do I.
Pardon me, but aren't you Charles?
Julia! Julia Sanders!
Charles, I thought it was you.
Oh, let me look at you. Oh, Julia, you haven't changed a bit. You're as lovely as... How long has it been since we last saw each other?
10 years, almost 11.
Has it really been that long? Julia, have you ever forgiven me for what happened?
Of course, Charles.
I was so insanely in love with you, Julia, that I couldn't bear to have other men look at you. You know that I didn't mean...
I know,
to...
Charles.
I've thought of that night constantly. It's been like a nightmare ever since.
Please, Charles, it's all past and forgotten now.
You were perfectly justified in breaking our engagement. After what I'd done, there was nothing else you could do.
I understand you married Agatha Winthrop a year after I'd gone abroad.
Yes, Julia. After you left for Europe, people kept telling me what a wonderful wife Agatha would make me. I allowed myself to be convinced and married her.
Well, I'm sure everything turned out for the best.
But it didn't, Julia. Almost from the beginning, our marriage was a failure. For these past 5 years, Agatha and I have merely been living together under the same roof.
Oh, I'm sorry, Charles, that it didn't turn out well.
Nothing turned out well, Julia, after I lost you. I hope things have been better with you these past 11 years.
Oh, I can't complain. I spent a number of years in Paris studying art and working at dress designing.
Oh.
I only came back a few months ago.
You've never married?
No. I'm working now for Morgan's department store as their art director.
Oh, really? Well, my office is only a few blocks from there. Look, Julia, why don't we have lunch together tomorrow? There are so many things I'd like to know.
Well, I'd like to, Charles, but I think it would be much better that we don't.
Oh, now, surely, Julia, there's no harm in two old friends having lunch together, is there?
No, I suppose not.
I won't take no for an answer. Do you know where Drake's restaurant is?
Yes.
Will 1 o'clock tomorrow be all right?
Yes, that's my usual lunch hour.
Good, then it's a date. Strange, isn't it, Doctor? The way after 11 years, Julia and I bumped into each other. If we hadn't, what followed would never have happened.
It's such small things as an accidental meeting that often change the course of one's life.
Yes, I know that now, but I didn't then. I met Julia for lunch the next day, and soon we were having lunch together every day.
Hmm.
And for the first time in years, life began to mean something. Merely seeing Julia for 1 hour a day made life worth living.
I understand, Charles.
We'd have lunch together, and then we'd go for a walk in the park. I sensed at the time that Julia, too, was lonely and in the need of friendship. The summer passed swiftly and happily. I should have realized that things couldn't go on that way, but I didn't.
You mean you fell in love with Julia?
Fell in love with her? I don't think I'd ever really stopped loving her. I became aware of how much I really cared for her one warm autumn day as we were walking through the park together. Julia,
Yes, Charles?
what about going to the theater with me tonight?
Oh, I wish you hadn't asked me, Charles.
Why?
Because it means we can't go on seeing each other anymore.
But why shouldn't we go on seeing each other?
Because you aren't satisfied any longer just to see me at lunch, and it isn't right for us to go out together at night.
But surely there's no harm in our going to the theater together.
You're married, Charles. That's reason enough.
All right, Julia.
Uh-oh, more stickers.
But at least we can go on having lunch together, can't we?
No, Charles.
Oh, but...
Can't you see? Things can never be the way they were. We've become dependent upon each other, and we have no right to be. We can't go on seeing each other any longer. It isn't fair to Agatha.
But you know that Agatha and I mean nothing to each other. We haven't for years.
Nevertheless, she's your wife.
Julia, you know I love you. I've always loved you, and I can't do without you.
Charles, you're just making it difficult for both of us.
Julia, you do love me, don't you?
Yes. But can't you see, it's no use. I remember Agatha only too well. She'd never give you a divorce.
I know she won't. I've asked her a dozen times in the past 5 years, but she said she'll never give me one.
I want to part now, Charles. Right here.
Must we?
Yes. Goodbye, Charles.
My life seemed to end that day, Doctor, with our parting. I went through the motions of living, but nothing seemed to matter any longer.
I can well understand that.
Well, months went by. Every day after work, I stayed in town, unable to face an evening at home with Agatha. When I did arrive home late at night, she'd be waiting for me.
Is that you, Charles?
Yes, Agatha. Sorry if I woke you.
Now, lot you care. Coming in night after night at all hours, leaving me alone in this big house. Oh, don't think I don't know what you're up to. I know you're kind, Charles Foster.
You better go to sleep, Agatha.
A fine chance I have to sleep with you putting on the bathroom light. You know I can't sleep when that light's on.
Take me a minute to brush my teeth, then I'll turn off the light.
Man, this episode.
Well, what is it now?
Yikes.
What's this bottle of prussic acid doing in the medicine chest? It's a deadly poison.
I know that. I got it from Mrs. Smedley, the druggist's wife. She used it to get rid of an old cat they had. When I told her about Flush, she said it was a thing...
What's that about Flush?
I said Mrs. Smedley gave me that bottle of prussic acid so I could get rid of Flush. I'm going to put him out of his misery tomorrow.
You'll do no such thing, do you hear? If you so much as lay a hand on Flush, I'll kill you. I'll kill you, do you understand?
Yes, Charles.
You get rid of that poison tomorrow.
Bad
Let's have no more
episode,
talk of
geez.
putting Flush out of his misery. I lay awake for hours, Doctor, unable to fall asleep. Julia's breaking off with me and my wife's refusal to give me a divorce. And the prussic acid she meant to poison Flush with had left me all worked up. Then Agatha began coughing. That cough she'd cultivated for years to give people the impression that she was an invalid. Well, after she'd coughed her usual 5 minutes or so, she got out of bed and started for the bathroom where she kept her cough medicine.
Oh, drat that chair.
Why don't you turn on the light so you can see where you're going?
I can see perfectly well where I'm going. Besides, on your salary, we can't afford to waste electricity.
I knew there wasn't any use in saying anything more. For years, Agatha had gotten up every night and groped her way to the medicine chest where her cough medicine was. Nothing could make her change her habits. I lay in bed listening as she opened the medicine chest and fumbled in the corner where she always kept the bottle. As I heard her groping for her medicine, I suddenly thought of the bottle that was standing next to it. The bottle of prussic acid. Without thinking, it came to mind. If only she'd take the prussic acid instead of the cough medicine. If she did, I would be free. Free of her constant nagging and whining. Free to see Julia. Then I knew it was useless to hope for such a mistake to happen. Agatha's cough medicine always stood
I
in
did
the
this
same
sticker
corner
the
of the medicine
best.
chest.
It's even.
Even in the dark, she'd never take the bottle of prussic acid. And then it came to me. What if the bottles were to be switched? What if the following night the prussic acid were placed in the customary spot of the cough medicine? Suddenly it was all very clear to me what I was going to do. Agatha?
Well?
Agatha, I've been thinking over what you said about Flush.
What?
I suppose you're right. Flush should be disposed of.
He certainly should. He's old and he's smelly. It'll be a blessing for him to be put out of his misery.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry I shouted at you before, Agatha, but, well, I see now that you're right.
When are you going to do it?
Oh, we'll wait until Saturday.
And none too soon, either.
You're sure the prussic acid won't make him suffer?
Nonsense. Of course it won't. Mrs. Smedley said nothing works faster than prussic acid.
Oh, you told her what it was for. That's fine. Very well, Agatha. Just leave everything to me. The next night, Doctor, after Agatha was in bed, I quietly stole into the bathroom and opened the medicine chest. I compared the bottle of cough medicine with that of the prussic acid. They were both small bottles, almost identical in size. I removed the cough medicine from where it stood in the corner of the chest and replaced it with the poison. Then I went to bed and waited impatiently for Agatha to start coughing. Can I get you a glass of water or something, Agatha?
Water won't do any good. What I need is my cough medicine. Oh, that's that tear.
Why don't you turn on the light?
Because I can see perfectly in the dark. Besides, someone's got to economize on the electricity in this house.
I lay there in the darkness, listening to her grumble as she opened the door of the medicine chest. The blood pounded in my ears as I heard her fumbling for the bottle. Would she feel the slight difference in the bottle when she picked it up? Scarcely able to breathe, I waited. Listened. And she fell to the floor. I quickly got out of bed, turned on the lights, and went into the bathroom. She was lying on the floor, quite dead. There was an agonized look on her face. I returned the bottle of cough medicine to its proper place, and then I phoned the police.
Thank you, Connie, Fluff Chick Productions. Thank you, Fluff Chick.
Now, you
Appreciate
say, Mr.
that.
Foster, that your wife was in the habit of going every night to the medicine chest for a few drops of her cough medicine.
Yes, that's right.
And she never turned on the lights when she went to the medicine chest.
Oh, no, sir.
Wasn't that a bit unusual?
Well, I always used to tell her to turn on the lights, but she said it was a waste of electricity.
I see. And you say your wife, it was her who placed the bottle of prussic acid.
Be
in the
right
medicine
back.
chest
Be
next
right
to her
back.
Cough medicine, eh?
Yes, sir. I'd never touched the bottle of prussic acid. You see, it was my wife who procured it, and she...
Yes, Mr. Smedley, the druggist, has testified that his wife gave it to your wife. Mr. Foster, are you familiar with the contents of your wife's will dated 10 years ago?
Yes, I am.
Then you know, of course, that your wife left her entire estate to the Home for the Aged.
Home for the aged? Oh, yes, yes. I fought to keep my face expressionless, to prevent him from learning that I hadn't known. All the years we'd been married, Agatha had given me to understand that all her money would go to me. Now I knew that she'd been lying. Her will had been made out in favor of the Home for the Aged for years. I began to feel angry at the way she'd cheated me. But a moment later, I was grateful that she had.
Frankly, Mr. Foster, your wife's death occurred under very suspicious circumstances, to say the least. For years, she'd gone to the medicine chest every night without mishap. And yet, on the second night that there was a bottle of prussic acid in the chest, she met her death. Were it not for the fact that your wife had left her entire estate to the Home for the Aged, I might be inclined to go further with this investigation. As it is, I'll instruct the coroner's jury to bring in a verdict of death through accident. That's all, Mr. Foster.
I walked out of the district attorney's office a free man. A few days later, I moved out of the house which had been Agatha's and took up quarters elsewhere. 6 long and uneventful months passed. I made no effort to contact Julia for fear that the police might still have their suspicions. And then I could stand it no longer. I called on her.
Charles, when I was told you were waiting to see me, I could hardly believe it. I'm so glad to see you again.
Thank you, Julia. It's good to see you again, too.
Charles, you don't look well at all.
These past few months have been something of a strain, Julia, but I'm all right now.
I was tempted so many times to get in touch with you. Then I thought perhaps you didn't want to see anyone.
I did want to see you, Julia, but I was afraid it wouldn't look right.
I understand, Charles.
Now, let's not say anything more of the past. Only the present and the future. Julia, do you think we might try to pick up where we left off last autumn?
We can try, Charles.
Julia and I, Doctor, began to see each other night after night. Life for me became exciting and wonderful the way it had been 11 years ago before Julia and I had broken our engagement.
Didn't you ever stop to think of what you'd done?
You mean Agatha?
Yes.
No, Doctor. They say that a murderer is ever haunted by his crime. But that isn't true. At least it wasn't in my case. To me, Agatha was part of another life in the dim past. I rarely thought of the past, only the present and the future. No, if I had any fears at all, it was the fear that something would spoil the happiness that Julia and I had found together. But nothing did. And a few months later, we were married with you as my best man.
Yes, I remember.
My second marriage was everything that my first hadn't been. The first time in my life I knew what true happiness meant. Julia and I were poor, but that didn't matter, for we had each other.
Got myself a yoo-hoo.
The months swiftly passed. And as our first anniversary approached, it was hard to believe that we'd been married almost a year.
Charles, before you leave for work, will you sign a check for me?
Oh, who's it for, dear?
Never you mind, Mr. Foster. You just leave a signed check. I'll fill in the amount and the party it's meant for.
Mrs. Foster, you're acting very mysterious.
Well, a wife has a right to act mysterious once a year.
Darling, I suspect you're going to use this check to buy me an anniversary present. Well, whatever you get me, please don't make it neckties.
Well, I'll have you know I have very good taste in neckties.
I know you do, dear, but I have to wear them.
You're an ungrateful wretch. Very well, I won't get you ties.
Good, then I'll sign the check for you. And please bear in mind that you can't make this check out for more than $312.50. That's all we have in the bank.
Oh, I'll leave you at least the 50 cents.
You'd better leave a good deal more. We won't be going up to Lake Ellis.
Charles, are we going up to Lake Ellis?
Oh, it slipped out. And I meant it as an anniversary surprise.
Oh, Charles, that's wonderful. When are we going?
This Friday afternoon.
Oh, you're missing out on chocolate delight. I like it.
Oh, darling, what an exciting surprise. Charles, you're sure it won't be too expensive?
Why, nothing can be too expensive for our first anniversary.
Oh, darling, I've never been so happy.
This looks like a nice place to fish. Let's see, where'd I put that bait?
Here it is, dear.
Thanks, darling. Uh-huh. Here's a nice, fat, dimpled worm. Well, if you can't stand to see me bait him, just turn the other way. That's it. It'll only take me a minute.
Charles, look.
Let's wait till I get this.
There's smoke coming out of the engine hatch.
What's that? Yes, you're right.
It's on fire. There are flames shooting out.
Fire extinguishers at the other end of the boat.
Charles, you'd never make it. You'd be burned.
Yes, you're right. Besides, even the extinguisher wouldn't do much good now. The fire's too big.
What are we going to do? Oh, the heat is becoming unbearable.
There's only one thing we can do, Julia. Let's go over the side.
We're almost in the center of the lake. I can't swim.
But I can, dear. I'll manage to keep us above water somehow.
Well, all right, darling. I'll do whatever you say.
You'll come through this, Julia. Now, don't be afraid. Now, I'll slip over the side of the boat first, and you follow.
All right.
Now, hurry, Julia. Let yourself down into the water. I'll keep you afloat.
Yes, Charles.
That's it. Now, let's go to the side of the boat. I have you.
Yes, Charles.
Now, don't be afraid, darling. You see? It's no trouble keeping you above water. Now, just relax, dear. While I swim with you a bit. We've got to get a good distance from the boat. It may explode.
Yes, Charles. Do you see any boots, Rob?
No, but...
Well, the reason I fell in love with Yoo-Hoo is, well, I actually did like it when I was a kid, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have milk. I know technically it says powder. Listen, this doesn't bother me. So Yoo-Hoo, I get away with having a chocolate drink. So, and it tastes good. I like it. I really do. But lactose intolerant kind of sucks, so it is what it is.
Someone's bound to see the fire and come to our rescue. Until they do, we must have courage.
You're tired, aren't you, Charles?
No, don't worry, dear. I can keep us afloat for a long time yet.
Oh, why doesn't someone come to our rescue?
They will. Someone must surely have seen that boat burning.
Charles, we've been in the water so long.
Oh, it just seems long, darling. It can't be more than 10 minutes.
10 minutes? It feels more like... Charles!
I've got you, Junior. Just for a moment, you slipped away from me.
Oh, darling, it's no use. I'm just a millstone around your neck.
What are you saying?
Why should we both drown? Charles, save yourself.
Save myself?
Yes. I want you to let go of me.
Let go of you? No, never.
It's a Titanic. What the heck?
You're too tired to keep going.
No, darling. Either we're both saved or we're both drowned.
Oh, I won't have you throw your life away. Let go of me.
Julia, stop trying to break loose. Julia, darling, don't. I can't live without you. Julia, stop struggling.
Save yourself.
Julia! Help, my wife. My wife.
Yeah, we saw it all.
Just in time.
Hey, Mike, he's passed out. Get him before he goes under.
I got him. Here, help me get him aboard, Skipper.
All right. Any sign of his wife?
She's gone, Skipper.
Yeah, too bad. Well, if it's the last thing I do, I aim to see justice done
You
to
travel
this fella.
fools.
She never had a chance. You see him shove her under? It was murder, that's what it was.
Now, Mr. Foster, both of the men who rescued you claim that as they approached you and your late wife in their boat, they saw you struggling with her. You admit this?
Yes, but I tell you, I was trying to save her, not drown her.
No, you were trying to save her. But both the witnesses testified they saw you push her head under.
They're wrong. I wasn't pushing her under. I was trying to bring her to the surface. You must believe me.
Oh, Mr. Foster, you maintain that you were rescuing your wife, not drowning her.
Yes.
Is it true, Mr. Foster, that you were engaged to your wife 11 years ago and that she broke the engagement?
Yes, that's true.
Hey,
Would you
K.O.
mind
Joe.
telling the jury why she broke the engagement?
We had a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? Do you call shooting the woman you're engaged to just a misunderstanding?
No. You must let me explain. It's true that 11 years ago I did shoot Julia, but I've been drinking. I didn't know what I was
Mr.
doing.
Foster, you do admit shooting and wounding her.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this before?
Why, yes. That's the insurance policy I took out for Julia and myself.
Exactly. And when was this policy taken out?
Well, about a month ago.
June 15th, to be exact. And what's the value of this policy, Mr. Foster?
Well, if either my wife or myself died, it provided $10,000 for the survivor.
Yes, Mr. Foster. If either you or your wife died a natural death, it provided $10,000 to the survivor. But there's also a double indemnity clause in this policy, isn't there?
Yes, but
One that provides you with $20,000 if your wife died an accidental death, such as drowning.
Yes, that's true, but I swear I didn't drown my wife. I tell you, I was trying to save her, not drown her. You must believe me. You must. And that, Doctor, is exactly the way everything happened. Strange, isn't it? The way justice works itself out. I committed murder and escaped punishment. Now I'm paying with my life for the death of the one person I really loved.
It's time to go, Foster.
All right, Warden. Goodbye, Doctor. And take good care of Flush, will you?
Of course, Charles. Goodbye.
All right, Warden. I'm ready. Let's go.
This is the mysterious traveler again. Did you enjoy our little trip? Too bad about Charles Foster, wasn't it? As he was strapped into the electric chair, there was an ironic smile on his lips, for he was being executed for something he had not done. But as Charles himself said, justice has a strange way of working itself out. I knew another man once who thought it would be a simple thing to dispose of his wife. Unfortunately, he... Oh, you're getting off here? I'm sorry. But perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week at this time.
You have just heard Chapter 64 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and the terrifying. In tonight's story, The Case of Charles Foster, Humphrey Davis played Charles Foster, Nancy Sheridan played Julia, and Joan Shea played Agatha. The Mysterious Traveler is written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, and original music is played by Henry Silverne. The entire production is under the direction of Jock McGregor.
Okay, well, there's another episode of Mysterious Traveler. The Case of Charles Foster. Yeah, I think the two episodes I played first were the best. No Grave Can Hold Me, and No One on the Line. Two of the best. These last two, not the best, but yeah, I mean, stickers are driving me a little nuts, but it's looking pretty good. This is the back of the railroad car, the first one I'm building. Yet to build the inside stuff. Everything's going pretty good so far, except for me separating things a little bit differently, that's all. But going pretty good. Yeah, let's see. I'm getting through it pretty good. And Yoo-hoo, yes. Oh, that tasted so good, nice and cold. I haven't had a Yoo-hoo in like a long time, really long time. But yeah, I think I'm going to do one more episode of Mysterious Traveler while I continue to build this. And thank you, Connie, for the super chat, $2 super chat. Fluff Chick Productions, that's her channel. Please go subscribe if you care to do so. And Horror Junkie for Life, of course. Hopefully you have a good time tomorrow, 4th of July. Festivities are fun. Hopefully. I think I'll be doing a live stream just building this, continuing this, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I know my son's going to be off with his friends. I mean, he's actually going to spend the night there tonight. So, yeah. Kids are gonna have fun. We've been working out and training for track, man, for next year already. So, hopefully something big happens next year. I mean, he made it to state this year, but... Yeah, Mysterious Traveler. Thought I'd play those because the train, it's just kind of a good ambiance with, building the Orient Express. So, yeah. On to the next one. Let's see. Let me play Death Laughs Last. Let's see how that. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do that one. Death Laughs Last from 1944. It's been a while since I heard these, so let's see what this one is like. Here we go. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
The Mysterious Traveler.
This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can. Where are we going? Why, we're going to follow the adventures of a man who thought he could commit murder and escape punishment. I call the story Death Laughs Last. It was while I was practicing medicine in an eastern city that Edward Harrison brought his wife Mary to me for an examination. I could see at a glance that she was dangerously ill. When I had finished my examination, however, I tried to conceal her true condition from her till I had a chance to speak privately to her husband.
It isn't anything serious, is it, Dr. Smith? Oh, please tell me that it isn't.
Well, I'm afraid it's too soon to say, Mrs. Harrison. Until the X-ray plates are ready, I can't say yes or no.
Oh, but...
Now your husband is waiting outside. He's probably beginning to worry, so...
Oh, yes, of course.
Here's your wife, Mr. Harrison. You must have thought I'd kidnapped her.
No, but I was getting a little worried, Doctor. I hope you didn't find anything very wrong.
Well, I took several X-rays, but I won't be able to tell much until they're developed. I'd like your wife to come back day after tomorrow, if she can.
Of course, Doctor. What time would be the best?
Well, any time that's convenient to you. Now, I'll write out a prescription your husband can have filled. Will you step in for a moment, Mr. Harrison?
Sure thing. With you in a moment, Mary.
Of course, darling.
Sit down, won't you, Mr. Harrison?
All right. Now, what is it, Doctor?
Mr. Harrison, your wife is dangerously ill.
Does that mean she's going to die?
Her only hope is a brain operation. A very difficult and delicate operation. Without it, well, I could only give her 6 months, a year at most.
No, it mustn't be. She's got to have the operation, you hear?
I must tell you, Mr. Harrison, that only one man in this country has the necessary skill for the operation your wife needs. He's Dr. Howard Richards, and naturally he's in great demand. His average fee for an operation is about $1,500.
$1,500?
Well, of course, if you can't afford that, you might consider the circumstances and...
No, I can afford it. I can afford anything Mary needs.
I'm sure I've played that on my channel, Philip. I've played most of the
right away, and I'll get a hold
but
of the
I could
money.
be wrong.
I'll get it to you by tomorrow, sure.
I've actually done 4th of July streams in the past, but...
Darling, help me off with my coat, will you?
Oh, sure, Mary. Yeah. How are you feeling?
Oh, much better since Dr. Smith gave me that medicine in his office.
He's a swell doctor. He'll fix you up in no time.
Did he tell you anything more, Edward?
Not a thing, except that the treatment might take a little time, that's all.
A little time? Oh, dear, I hope it won't be too expensive. Your business hasn't been good, and we've used up all the money in our savings account, and...
Oh, don't you fret about money. Don't you worry about anything.
All right, darling, I won't. Oh, but aren't you going to take your coat off?
No, I've got to get the prescription the doctor gave me filled. You just take it easy till I get back. I might stop in at the shop, too. There's something I've got to attend to there. Danvers. I'm Ed Harrison.
Oh, yes, Mr. Harrison. Please sit down. I see that you want to borrow $1,500 from us.
That's right.
Unfortunately, the security you offer, your home...
Well, what's wrong with it? It's a swell little house, good section, all in good repair.
Yes, that's true. But you already have a first and second mortgage on it, totaling $4,000. And, well, I'm afraid we can't make any further loans.
But I've got to have the money. I just got to.
I'm sorry to hear that, because there's nothing we can do to help you. Nothing we can do.
You say you're not employed, Mr. Harrison.
No, I own a shop. I'm a locksmith.
Mm-hmm. Well, that means you're never certain of your income. If you had a job now, a regular income you could depend on...
What are you getting at? You mean you're not going to let me have the money?
I certainly wish I could, but under the circumstances... Well, I'm sorry, very sorry, but there's nothing I can do.
I'm afraid the collateral you suggest isn't satisfactory, Mr. Harrison. We'd lend you the money if we could, but we just can't. Sorry.
But I've got to have it. I've just got to.
Sorry.
It's to save Mary's life. She'll die if I
Sorry.
don't. And I won't let her die. I won't.
Sorry. Sorry.
Look,
Sorry.
you must.
Sorry.
Listen. You must.
Edward, you aren't eating. Oh, and you're so quiet. Dear, is there anything wrong?
What? Oh, no, of course not.
You're worrying about me, aren't you?
Why, no, Mary. I was just thinking about making some changes at the shop. And...
Darling, you don't have to lie to me. I know I'm not well, but I'm going to get better. Really, I am, I promise.
Of course you are. Dr. Smith said so. You're going to be well in no time. Now I've got to go out. I have an appointment over the other side of the city with
Oh,
Horace
Connie,
Latimer.
were you there in the
He
morning?
wants
Who
to see me
had
about
heart
something.
surgery?
Something important.
Edward had no appointment with Horace Latimer, but went to see Horace anyway. For he and Horace had been boyhood friends. Then their paths had separated, and Horace had grown wealthy. But in his desperation, Edward Harrison hoped that Horace would remember the past and would lend him the money he'd been trying to raise all day. Horace could spare it easily. But would he?
1,500? That's rather a lot of money, Ed.
I know it is, Horace, but it's for Mary, for an operation. I've got to have it.
Yes. Why don't you try the bank? You have a house, a business.
I have tried the bank and all the personal loan companies in town. They all turned me down, said the security wasn't good enough.
I see. Well, that's too bad. But I don't quite understand why you came to me, Ed.
Because we're friends, that's why. Because when we were boys, we agreed that we'd each of us always lend the other a helping hand if we could.
Boys don't understand business very well, I'm afraid, Ed.
No, I suppose
Sounds
not.
good, Philip. And yeah,
They don't
Connie.
understand business. They
Not
just
sure.
understand friendship. You know, if I had the money and you needed it, I'd lend it to you in a minute.
I don't doubt that at all, Ed. And you can bet I'd lend it to you if I had it. But that's the trouble. I haven't any ready cash. The income tax, you know, and a couple of shaky investments that I had to bolster up lately.
All right, Horace, never mind explaining. I get the idea. You're not going to lend me the money.
No, really, Ed, I would if I could, but I can't. I'm sorry,
Save your
but
sorrow for somebody else. I don't need your money, you hear? I'll get it someplace else. Yes, I'll get it. Somehow.
After he had slammed out of Horace Latimer's expensive home, Edward stood for a moment on the dark street corner, staring back with bitterness in his face.
Sorry. Yes, you're sorry. In a pig's eye, you're sorry. What a sap I was to think you were a pal of mine.
What's that, buddy? Oh, was you talking to me?
Oh, no, sorry. I guess I was thinking out loud.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, got a match?
A match? Oh, sure. Yeah, there you are.
Thanks. Okay, just hold it like that. Make a move and I'll plug you.
Gun?
Yeah,
Why,
this
you...
is a stick-up. Hold your whore. Hand over your dough and make it fast, see?
My dough? That's a hot one. I'm out trying to raise money myself. We're both out of luck. I've only got $1 on me. Take it if you want it anyway. It's more than I could raise.
Don't try to kid me. Stand still while I see what you got in your pockets. A wallet. A leather case of some kind.
You'll find just $1 in that wallet.
Yeah? A buck. One measly buck. I bet you got a roll hidden in this leather case. It's heavy enough.
There's nothing in there but my emergency kit.
Yeah, well, I'll just see for myself. Say. Oh, this kit is full of skeleton keys and pick locks and stuff. What are you, anyway? Second-story worker?
I'm a locksmith and a safe repairman, if it's anything to you. Now, how about taking $1 and letting me go on my way? I'm in a hurry.
Not so fast, pal. Not so fast. Were you leveling just now when you said you was trying to raise dough?
Yeah, I've got to have $1,500 by tomorrow. What's it to you?
You'd be surprised, pal. Okay, I'm putting the gun away, but you ain't leaving yet. Me and you, we're gonna talk business. Because I got a plan that'll get us both all the dough we need. Two more beers, waiter.
Coming up.
Well, is it a deal on my proposition?
I don't know, Mike.
Sure you do. There's nothing to it. You can open locks and safes. I know where there's a house with plenty of dough in it. You and me together, we'll go get it. We'll make a team.
But burglary? I never stolen anything in my life.
Listen, you said you needed the dough bad, didn't you? So do I, plenty bad. You said you'd do anything to get it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Then what are you hanging back for? All you gotta do is get the back door opened and the safe. In half an hour, you'll have your $1,500 and more. How else are you ever gonna get it? Answer me that.
I don't know. You're sure the money's there, Mike?
Positive. I was casing the joint. Looked in the window in time to see the old geezer put a whole roll of bills in a safe that's like a bread box. You could open it with your teeth.
All right. I'll do it. I've got to have the money. I'll go on the job with you.
Yeah, I'll finish this episode up, but yeah, I'm having some issues. I think I should not have unbagged everything the way I did. I can't find certain pieces, and I have to keep getting up, so it's actually driving me a little nuts. But yeah, we'll play this episode out 14 more minutes, and then we shall see. I'm going to have to organize this a little bit better for the next stream because it's driving me nuts, and I keep getting up and looking. I should have known better, but oh well, you live and learn. Here we go.
Okay, this is the joint. Everybody's hit the hay long ago. It'll be a cinch.
The luck looks easy. But I shouldn't be doing this. There must be some other way to get the money straight.
Don't be a sucker all your life. You gotta take what you want in this world. If you don't, you'll never get it. Everybody's a crook of some kind. Take it from me.
Well...
Get on. Get that door open. We gotta get inside before we're spotted.
All right. Let me take a second, I think. Yes. There. It's unlocked.
Okay, get inside. The safe's in the library. Down this way. Don't make any noise.
You're sure there's only two of them in the house?
Yeah, the old guy and his butler. Probably both of them deaf as posts. Here's the library. Come on. The safe's behind the picture on the wall.
This picture?
Yeah, that's it. I'll lift it down. There you are. That safe is just a kid's toy. Go ahead, get it open.
It won't be that easy. But I'll have it open inside half an hour.
Hurry it up. You've been 40 minutes on that thing.
It's coming now. There. It's open.
About time, too. And now let's see what's in it. Here's the cash box. Will I open it? There. Look. Dough, cash, Mazuma, what'd I tell you?
There must be thousands there.
Easy. Come on, we'll count it and divvy it up.
No, never mind. Just give me 1,500. That's all I want. You can keep the rest.
Are you kidding?
No, that's all I want. Just the 1,500 I need.
Okay, it's your funeral. Here you are. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, $1,500 bills.
$1,500?
Yeah, for just an hour's work. Easy money, huh? What do you say? We crack a couple more cribs tonight?
No, I just want to get out of here now and...
Get behind this door. I'll take care of it.
Please, Jenkins, please, help!
What'd you expect me to do? Shake his hand?
But you killed him. Yes. I'm an accessory to murder.
Cut that guff and let's get out of here. Or do you want to get caught?
No, of course not.
All right, let's get going. Come on, we can...
Stand still, both of you. I have a gun and I have you covered.
The butler.
If you move, I'll shoot. I can see you perfectly.
He's standing on the stairs. He's got a gun. We caught.
No, not yet. We ain't. Not by an old scarecrow with a rusty horse pistol.
Put up your hands. I'm going to call the police. You've done something to the boss.
Okay, we'll put up our hands. Back from me, Will.
Oh!
Shut him. We gotta get out of here in a hurry. No shots. Okay, here we are. Come on in.
Well, why did you make me come here? Why can't I go home?
You heard me. Come on in. That's better. Now, take off your hat and stay a while.
But I can't stay, Mike. My wife, she'll be worrying. I'll get home to her.
You got other things than your wife to worry about, chum.
What do you mean, Mike?
I mean the cops. Or have you forgotten? You're wanted for murder.
No, I haven't forgotten. I'll never be able to forget. Why did you kill them? Why?
Well, it was either kill them or go to jail. Or would you rather have gone to jail, huh?
No, but I'm all mixed up. How did I get into this anyway?
You needed dough. That's how you got into this. And you got it, so now cut out the sob stuff.
Why won't you let me go home? Why did you make me come here to your room?
You're here so you and me can have a little talk.
What kind of a talk?
Well, chum, that door and that safe open. You and me got a future together.
I won't do it. I won't.
Sure you can always send a little note to the cops.
They'd get you, too.
I'd be a long ways off here. You got a sick wife. You can, they say. You don't think you can pull a job and go on as if nothing had happened. Somebody's always got to bear another.
I did it only for
a minute now, and you can't get out. Wait.
I'll get it off my chest.
Oh, no, you do. You see, Dick, and if I thought... Hey, get let go!
You got me into this. I'll take that gun away from me.
I'll plug you out! Oh!
Mike. He's dead. I'm going to get away.
In a daze of horror, he made his way to the street. Thoughts which he could not control round in his head.
They'll hang me. But I had the money to make Mary. Now they'll catch me. They'll hang me. I've got to. Paid for somehow. But if you can escape, if you're lucky. I need a drink. I've got to have a drink before I go crazy.
So Edward Harrison stopped the street and struggling to control his shaking as normal. He ordered a double whiskey and gulped it. His senses cleared a little. He heard the radio at the end of the bar, broadcasting a warning to the city.
Attention. The police stop for the following man. They're committed in the Buxton Park. Please make a note of the following.
Say, buddy, what's the radio off for?
Because I was...
Did he? And I got a night I want to hear it. So I'm going to turn it back on again.
No, you mustn't.
But I'm going to. If you try your gun right here under the bar, see what that dirty killer looked like.
I repeat, beyond height, lean and wiry, with reddish-brown hair, in Buxton Park earlier this evening. Man reported once to... Now turn you back to our regular night owl program of popular dance tunes.
Lean and wiry with reddish-brown hair, huh? Well, that ain't you. You're heavy-set and black-haired. But for a minute there, you had me going. I was positive you was the killer the way you didn't want me to hear the description. I guess you're just jumpy, huh? Well, here, have another drink. On the house.
Thanks. I need some sleep. Yeah, that's what I need. Some sleep.
How close he had come to giving himself away. Edward Harrison hurried. Mike the police were looking for. Not Edward Harrison. And they had. Edward Harrison was safe. His own good luck, Edward was asleep. quiet. Troubled by nightmare, Mary was already preparing breakfast.
Good morning, darling. Who?
I was pretty late. I stopped at the shop. I was pretty late, a little work. I forgot to watch the time.
Oh, and this morning you look terrible.
No more stickers,
You're
Lego.
worrying
Printed
about
pieces.
Really, I am.
Of course you are. I'm going to see to that.
What do you think? Dr. Smith called up last night. He wanted to talk to you. Said he had some good news for you.
Good news.
Yes, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. I don't know why. He asked for you to stop in at his office this morning.
I think I know what it is. Yes, sure, I'll go right over and see him.
Oh, but, darling, you're going to eat breakfast first, aren't you?
I'll eat when I get back. I want to see the doctor first. Anyway, I'm not very hungry.
Well, all right, Edward. But please hurry back. I want to know what the doctor says, too.
Yeah, sure, Mary. I'll be right back. But everything's okay now, darling. Everything's okay.
After he left the house, Edward bought a morning paper. Big headlines told of the murders the night before, but he scarcely saw them. His eyes hurried through the story until he found what he was looking for. The news that Mike's body had been found. The butler Mike had shot had given the police Mike's description and then died before he could tell them there was anyone with Mike. So the police had listed Mike's death as a suicide or an accident and closed the case. Edward Harrison was safe. Perfectly safe.
Safe. I'm safe. Mike was wrong. Sometimes you can get away with murder and not have to pay anything if you're lucky. And I've been lucky. I've been lucky.
When Edward Harrison entered my office, he sat down beside my desk and tossed a folded newspaper into the wastebasket.
Hey, Barry.
His expression was that of a man who had just faced disaster and been rescued at the last moment.
Good morning, Doctor. Mary said you'd phoned. You had good news.
Yes, Mr. Harrison, I called you last night after I got in touch with Dr. Richards. I wanted to tell you that he had agreed to operate on your wife.
Oh, that's swell, Doctor. And I've got the money right here in my pocket.
Money, yes. Yes, I was also going to tell you that Dr. Richards had said not to worry about it. You could take as long as you wanted to pay it.
As long as I wanted?
Yes.
Then it wasn't necessary. I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to do it.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Never mind, Doctor. I mean, I've got the money. I want to pay it. He's got to take it right away. Well, what's the matter? What are you looking at me like that for? The operation is going to save Mary's life, isn't it? You said it would. You can go back on your word. You can, do you hear?
It's not that, Mr. Harrison. Yes, the operation would save your wife's life, but unfortunately, Dr. Richards was the only man in this country able to perform it.
Well, so what? He said he'd do it, didn't he? And I've raised the dough to pay him, so what's the hitch?
Mr. Harrison, Dr. Richards can't perform the operation now.
But you said...
He was tragically murdered last night by a burglar who broke into his home in Buxton Park. This is the mysterious traveler again. Did you enjoy our little trip into the life of a man who thought he could make good come out of evil? Poor Edward Harrison. He didn't believe that crime must always be paid for by someone, did he? What became of him? Well, after his wife died a few months later, he confessed everything to the police. He didn't have anything to live for, poor fellow. But I hope his experience will teach you that crime really doesn't pay. I always say that it... Oh, you're getting off at the next stop. I'm sorry. But perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week.
You have just heard Chapter 42 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. In today's story, Death Laughs Last, Philip Clark played Edward Harrison, Carl Emery played Mike, and Elizabeth Morgan played Mary Harrison. The Mysterious Traveler is written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, and original music is played by Henry Silverne. The entire production is under the direction of Jock McGregor. And now, an important message for all of you.
This is Jock McGregor speaking. The National War Fund drive begins tomorrow. As you probably know, this fund includes over 22 of the major war relief and service organizations. As the war progresses on all fronts, more and more people will need help. Our armed forces, American prisoners of war, our allies, and people right here at home. And by giving to the National War Fund, you will be helping. Consider just one of the many organizations that the War Fund supports, the USO. More than 3,000 service units are in operation, clubs where our servicemen and women find recreation, dances, educational activities, reading, writing, and game rooms, and religious counsel. The USO is responsible for the Travelers' Aid desks, which help servicemen make connections and find sleeping accommodations. It operates the lounges in railroad and bus terminals. USO camp shows bring American entertainment to our troops at camps and stations throughout this country and in all the combat zones. Groups who play the jungle circuit in the South Pacific, the desert circuit in North Africa, the grass skirt circuit in the Hawaiian Islands, and the foxhole circuit in combat zones just behind the front lines. We can't measure in money the good accomplished by the USO, but we can help to continue that good work by giving our money the National War Fund. So when your community war fund or war chest representative calls on you, give and give generously.
Listen next time to a tale titled
The Man the Insects Hated.
Another tale of the Mysterious Traveler.
The man the insects hated. Too many mosquito bites. What's going on?
The Mysterious Traveler is presented by WOR Mutual from the WOR studios in New York. Beginning Saturday, October 7th, The Mysterious Traveler will be heard at a new time. It will be presented every Saturday evening at 10:30 Eastern Wartime over most of these same stations. So remember the new time, 10:30 p.m., Saturdays.
This is Mutual.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, done with that. That was another episode. That wasn't that bad. That was pretty good. Having a few issues with this, and I think it's my fault. I didn't lay everything out properly, all the pieces and everything like that. Usually I go bag to bag like I'm supposed to, but I saw somebody on YouTube laid all the pieces out, and I thought I would be able to on the table because it's kind of big, but it was doing it how I did with only so many bags, 1 through 6. There were other pieces that weren't here, and I don't know. I think I separated them into other things that I should have never done that. I was doing much better not doing that. I don't know. We had wartime. Yeah. Also, I'm not sure whoever it is, just sending prayers out. So hopefully all goes well. I'm sure we'll hear either later tonight or tomorrow in the morning. Whoever had heart surgery, but yeah, thank you guys all for hanging out with me and listening to some Mysterious Traveler as I work on this. I did get the main tracks out there together. I did get some of the first cart done. I'm telling you, the stickers, Lego, you gotta stop with the stickers. Printed pieces. I just did a fantasy Sherlock Holmes set where 60 printed tiles and pieces. Stickers are just too hard, man, and they go on crooked, and you got to pull it off, put it back on. It's impossible unless I sit and work with tweezers, and I'm really not going to do that. It's okay, do you know that person was probably cussing a storm in between takes, right? But yeah, no, thank you guys. We'll see you in the overnight. Richard Diamond tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream live tomorrow or not. I will let you guys know. And thank you, Connie. Thank you, Horror Junkie. Enjoy your 4th of July tomorrow.